What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 82 of the Weekly Comic Wrap Up, the show where we run through the FOC picks of the week by our brother Lefteros. We bring you the market report, highlighting some books that sold on the secondary market, and of course, we wrap it up with the hot topics every week. And yes, this is the show with adrenaline in its soul. That's right, I could see my man sitting backstage, super pumped because, guys, last night, on the wrestling side of the world. It was a big moment. We had the ultimate heel turn. John Cena is officially a bad guy after so long, like what, 20 years? And let me tell you, myself and CHIA have been going back and forth for the last 24 hours that I'm surprised he even made it on for tonight's show. So, guys, let's bring him on. The Canadian Nightmare, and pretty much a nightmare for anybody who dreams of him. CHIA, what's going on?
Listen, last time I got on, you were a lot more pleasant. You were praising me, talking about how good looking I am. Now you literally said I'm the nightmare of anybody who dreams of me.
Absolutely.
That's how I guess the chat will realize how aggressive we've been towards each other for the last 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And at each other's throats. Listen, I don't like soft crybaby baby faces. What am I supposed to do? You're clearly in the mold of liking the John Cena, Ultimate Warrior, Goldberg type one-trick ponies, and I'm not. I prefer a more nuanced, villainous wrestler.
Sure, I could get into this conversation so in depth, but I don't want to bore everybody with the wrestling talk. I will say this, though. Whether you're a fan of Cody, John Cena, The Rock, you might love them, you might hate them. They cooked last night. It is now officially the road to WrestleMania. I am so excited. So excited. I know you are.
Listen, it's finally geared up a little bit. They needed to bring in the Rock and Cena to save Cody's second WrestleMania, third WrestleMania. So it happens. So I get it.
I love it.
Sam, I love you too. You know, you guys all pretend that you don't like me as the guest host, but you all end up coming back for more. That's just how it works. You get to see me 2 times a week sometimes with the Comic Legion Monday new comic book claim sale. By the way, shout out tomorrow, 7 o'clock on our channel.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, Comic Legion, let's get into comic talk because, of course, wrestling, we would have an entire 3-hour episode minimum based off of the conversations we've had already in the last 24 hours. But
before we continue, I'm going to cut you off.
Yep.
Me, Anthony, and Jolanda and BC here were supposed to have a What's Poppin' show. But after one event where we buried him because he had nothing good to say, he bailed on the show. That's all I'm saying. He ran away.
You guys didn't bury me.
He ran, guys.
No, at all. It was actually a really fun show, man. The best part about that was I had CHIA on a timer. If you guys go back to watch that, I put a 1-minute timer just to make sure he doesn't talk too much. But no, it was good times. We should totally bring it back, man.
Yeah,
I know
one day we'll do. We have no time, guys. It's time restraining.
We'll find the time. We should totally do that. It was fun talking things pop culture related. This would fall into that for sure because, I mean, the heel turn is now part of pop culture. Like literally,
I think 140 million views.
Yeah, mainstream madness. Yeah, complete madness. But I would totally love to bring that back. We could find the time. But tomorrow, as you said, Comic Legion goes live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So some of the books that we're going to talk about tonight on FOC, well, obviously we encourage you to pre-order with them. But for this week's new Comic Book Day books, you could check them out. So that being said, CHIA, let's get into it because FOC is by far the biggest list ever on this show. 82 episodes. Lefteros, I think, wanted to put us to work tonight. He knew you were on.
Yeah, that's why he's like, you know what? I'm going to make him pay. I'm going to make him pay. That's what
absolutely. Absolutely. So I counted 47 slides for tonight. So
he makes each one, guys.
Yeah.
He painstakingly researches all the stuff. Honestly, he's a beast.
Yeah, he is. And speaking of beast, he just mentioned in the chat, so I do want to shout that out and let you guys know that Lefteros himself actually hosts the Comic Legion New Comic Book Day sales every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So subscribe to the channel. Go show some love. But
he cuts me off.
yes, always, always. But let's get into the FOC stuff because it's a big one. You ready?
Let's go.
Vamos. All right, guys. All right. FOC selections of the week. And as I told you guys, it is selected by our brother Lefteros. So for March 3rd's FOC, if you guys like any of these books we talk about and you live in the United States, go visit comiclegion.us. You get 15% off already on the cover price, but get an additional 5% off by using discount code Black Crown. Again, comicnation.us. And Canada, I just spoke about them. Comic Legion, Lefteros himself hosts every Monday night for Comic Legion, and you also have CHIA there as well. So you get to see him back-to-back nights. Go visit comiclegion.ca. It's 20% off already on the cover price, but if it's your first order, use discount code and list to get an additional 5% off. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel where they go live, like I said, every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So to kick off the first book on the list, Absolute Martian Manhunter #1. I'm giggly a bit because here we have the cover A, first appearance of Absolute Martian Manhunter. Skeptical. People were just very skeptical, including myself, because this is a totally different take on Absolute Martian Manhunter. Like, sure, we got it different when it comes to Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, all of that stuff, but this is like a complete 180.
So, listen, this seems like one of those books. Like, it's funny because we had the leak yesterday of the Marvel Secret Wars leak, and
yes,
everybody was talking about Dupe, right?
And we're getting into that tonight.
Yeah, but somebody was talking about Dupe, right? From Ecstatics. It's a book like Ecstatics, where you took the X-Force concept and you flipped it on its head. So you took the Martian Manhunter superhero concept and flipped it on its head. And that was, I think, Mike Allred and Peter Gilligan, maybe. I'm not mistaken. Maybe Baker would know to correct me because it's an X-Man. But you know what? It's basically like an alt take on something we know. But Dennis Camp has done such good work on the Ultimates that I'm basically all in with this because all in for DC for just to give it a shot to see where it's going. Yeah. So it's piqued my curiosity, even though I think it may be the most out there and hardest to keep it going kind of thing. Yeah. See, like I've already come on the conclusion, come on this here, and I think I said it before. I love Absolute Superman more than regular Superman, and I think the regular Superman book is really good now. So, and I think the Wonder Woman right now, Absolute Wonder Woman is also better than the regular Wonder Woman. I just don't think the Batman. I'm just a sucker for traditional Bruce Wayne, even though the Absolute Batman book is phenomenal. Yeah. So I think this one's going to be out there, but I have full faith that it's going to be good. I don't know how long I'm going to go with it, but it's kind of, if it's a line stays small, kind of like Ultimate X-Men that's out there, and I still read it because it's a small line, it'd probably be the similar type thing.
Yeah, I know that Lefteros had the opportunity to get an advanced copy of this, and he said it that even the naysayers themselves are going to come around to this one because it's really, really good. I'm excited to read this. I didn't have that opportunity, but guys, there's not only this particular cover A, you have the cover F, which is basically the cover A in a foil. So if you're into foils, you might enjoy that. And of course, you get the 1 in 100 incentive of the Absolute Martian Manhunter, which is a black and white 1 in 100. That's
what they're doing for all of them, though. So it's
exactly. So I mean, it was expected either way. So you got the 1 in 100. Some other nice covers as well that are available, but Absolute Martian Manhunter definitely is something I'm not going to sleep on. I'm picking that up. Now, speaking absolute stuff, we have Absolute Wonder Woman issue #6, the cover A, likely the first appearance of Absolute Hades as well. And that alone has me wanting to buy this. There's obviously the cover A is sick. I find this cover to be so nice. Although there are other nice ones, cover A for me is a winner.
It is. I'm a sucker for the red and black type covers. So when I see that, I'm already all in, So this DC in general makes great covers, and this one is no exception. I believe is that the other lasso that she has? Is
Yeah.
that what we're seeing? Yeah, that's right. That's the difference. So yeah, I love this. I love this cover.
Yeah,
I'm sold
apparently
on it.
we're gonna learn a little more, I guess, about the weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, it looks like we're getting absolute Hades here, which is pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing
Yeah.
that. One of my favorite covers that is available. Obviously, there's a Frizen cover. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but Jenny Frizen doing an amazing cover. There's a very similar one for the actual Wonder Woman title as well on this FOC, but that's Sway Swaby, dude. Holy beautiful cover as well, man. So I think,
DC kills it all the time.
yeah, they're coming for the wallet, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Totally picking this up. Now, speaking nice covers, there's Batman Last Halloween issue 6. This is a Two-Face cover depiction by Tim Sale, dude. This is wicked. I love how the colors on this cover splits right at the face. Like it's so good, so
I remember when Tim Sale first broke in. I was collecting back in the day, and these were just like his art was just like revolutionary. You know, so many people started trying to copy it afterwards. Yeah, this is just back in that same tradition. I love it, and the fact that it's the two different shades referencing Two-Face, impeccable. This is automatic cover buy, let alone you buy it just because it's cool because it's the last Halloween. You know what I mean? So it's amazing.
Yeah, this is a pickup for sure. And
Yeah.
another book that has my interest this week is an indie title. This one by Oni Press, which is Free for All, issue number 1. It's a one shot about a brutal new vision of capitalism by Combat. You have obviously story and art by Patrick Horvath. And not only do you have this neat cover A, there's this 1 in 10 incentive as well. Dude, this looks pretty badass.
And I believe it's from the creator of Beneath the Trees, if I'm not mistaken. I think
Patrick Horvath.
Yeah. So Beneath the Trees, people slept on it. Thank God Sam gave a heads up to our chat, and a lot of us were able to get it. This is right up their alley, so I wouldn't be sleeping on this. This is probably going to be a massive hit as well. So yeah, definitely pick one up if you can, guys. This one's going to be a good one, I think.
Yeah. Pretty cool. There's a couple indie titles, in fact, that are on FOC this week. Guys, don't sleep on these indie titles because I don't know, man. It's like all publishers came out and said on the March 3rd FOC, we are going to annihilate all collectors who do keep up with new comics because our wallets are taking a beating. Not only do we have Free for All number 1, check out this. There's Far Down Below, issue number 1. This is the cover A miniseries about 2 teen friends exploring an abandoned home said to be haunted. So I'm all for this, haunted, this scary stuff. Like it's very interesting, of course.
There's the other cool cover with the blade, right?
Yeah,
the one that Sam also shared to scare me. Him and Squirrel Girl decided to. They know that I'm a bit of a wuss, so it was right up their alley to push my buttons.
I'm so happy that you could openly say this without me having to point it out. So
no, I do it preemptively. I own it so I can take away. I pulled the Eminem thing from 8 Mile, where you call up. Oh, that's another book. There you go, Ter.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm mixing it up with one that we're about to talk about right now.
Before we finish on this one, that's a story by Christopher Condon, who's in the middle of writing the incredible Ultimate Wolverine, and he's also from. I can't remember. There's another one, Texas one. I can't remember. There's some kind of an indie book, and he's also writing Green Arrow. So they're pushing his work now a lot more now. So he's getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, and he's a lot violent. He has a bit of a violent streak in him.
Yeah, it's true. Ultimate Wolverine.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't go wrong. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm totally gonna pick this up. This looks like it's gonna be a fun read, but you'll do bad things. So you'll do bad things. That's the one with the. This is the one you're talking about with the blade on the keyboard, or is it the one where the blade?
On the face,
on the face with the zipper mouth or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, this one here is absolutely a mortifying cover. I do agree. It's a sick cover. I love it. But this right here is called You'll Do Bad Things number 1. Here we have the cover A that's shown up on the screen. Mini-series about a writer whose stories happen in real life. Now that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, you got Tyler Boss on this one. totally picking these up. Like I said, some indie titles that definitely are piquing my interest. Here is one that I think everybody has been anticipating as well. It's worth taking everyone down with us. Number one, here's the cover A miniseries about a girl with a robot seeking revenge for the death of her father. Now, this
It's
has
a
been
great cover.
anticipated. Yeah, it's a wonderful cover. There's again very nice covers available as well. There's a Lotte cover that is just gorgeous, stunning. But what I was gonna say about this is we were on Covrprice. I believe it was the top 10 where the Ashcan or something made its way to the list, and it was going for quite a bit of a premium. There was a lot of copies that had sold, and it kind of had the I think it had like a For Your Eyes Only on it, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, man, it was going for a little bit of a premium. This apparently has been anticipated for a little bit of time by fans of this. So again, I'm just reading the description of this. Sounds beyond interesting, man. It looks pretty cool, man.
Last year and a half, indie books have been hitting it out of the park. It's not just the big two that have been great.
Yeah.
It's all publishers are killing it. Matthew Rosenberg, had a chance to meet him a couple of times at Fan Expo. Wonderful human being, good friends with Donny Cates. His work has always been good from his run between. He had an Uncanny X-Men run, building up to Krakoa, where he did the last 12 issues or something before they flipped over. He's done a lot of work for Marvel, some work for the DC Batman house, Batman family, and now he's doing a lot of indie work. He's a great writer. This cover is incredible. Definitely worth definitely a pickup to at least to see what's going on, because this thing looks awesome. Great concept too.
Yeah, I think that there's some great indie books available this week, man. Like I said, it's like the publishers are just dropping complete fire on this FOC. Leftero was saying that the girl has a choice to go on and live her life, or to basically go on a suicide mission for revenge. So that sounds again very interesting. So I'm totally gonna pick it up. I want to read
That's
this.
Any Kill Bill kind of thing going. You got me. You know?
Yeah. Now, moving on, we're going to get to Marvel very quickly. We have All New Venom, issue number 5. This is a cover selection by Lefteros because it's an Eric Larson variant. Now, Eric Larson being Eric Larson. I love Eric Larson. Eric Larson Venom covers back on the ASM run. Probably some of my favorite covers, aside from Todd McFarlane. But yeah, man, we're about to figure out also who is Venom now in this run. So there's that too to add to this. There you go. So up next, just to show you, there's a spoiler cover that's also available on FOC, and it's going to reveal the identity of who is Venom. There's a couple of covers by Clayton Crane that are available as well on FOC with the suspects. So we've already seen some of those suspects, heard about them. What's interesting is that a lot of people are talking about the fact that it's probably Paul. Now, Paul being, with MJ and having Dylan living with them, it's just a kind of annoying if that would be the case, because that's not who they were, saying out the gate type thing. Like, he wasn't even on the list of suspects, right?
Listen, I gotta say a few things. First off, the all new Venom uses his weapons and his power really cool. Okay? The book has been pretty good. Yeah. The issue I'm having here and if it's Paul, it tracks with the story in there. That Venom still cares for Dylan and would want to be close to Dylan, right? So it makes sense. The issue with it being Paul is A, Paul sucks.
Yes.
And B, they said it's one of these 4 people in all their advertisement. Yeah, exactly. And then it didn't say it may be one of these 4. It said one of these 4 is all new Venom. Okay?
Yeah. Then, now hold on. Just to put it into perspective for those who are not up to date yet, but the 4 that you're mentioning is Luke Cage, you have Madam Mask, you have Rick Jones, and Robbie Robertson. Those were the 4. Those are the 4 that have been advertised the whole time.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he couldn't stay with Dylan because what they did to him in the last Venom run makes him damage the host's body or something, right? If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember exactly. That's why people think, oh, maybe Rick Jones or Luke Cage, because he could survive having the symbiote, right? So that makes sense. And Rick Jones knows military. Now, you make it Paul. Again, it kind of tracks with the suit wanting to be close to Paul, but Paul sucks. And it just seems like they're trying to force Paul and elevate his character so the fans won't hate him as much. And I think it's just going to do the opposite. I think people just don't like Paul and just want Peter with MJ and it over with, you know? So no matter what they try to do and all the hoops they're trying to give us, people still are confrontational with that. So I hope it's not Paul for that reason. I hope it's Rick Jones. I've always said it. I'm always been a Rick Jones fan. So there you go.
I'm gonna be honest. Originally, when I saw the Venom remember they came out with the Venom cover. At first, and we saw like the gold symbiotes. I always thought it was gonna be Luke Cage. I don't know. It's just the vibes I was getting.
Yeah,
very Luke Cage, I guess. But who knows? He's still on board as one of the suspects. But I don't know. We shall see. Issue 5 is gonna tell us exactly who that is. So
I think 4 tells us, right? And then 5 is the spoiler cover, no?
No, it's supposed to be in 5. They're soliciting this as the one that's going to tell us exactly who it is. That's why there's multiple 4 suspect covers by Clayton Crane that are out there. So we're going to find out. What's interesting is that the suspects, there's 4 covers with the suspects. You can see their faces and everything. So why would the spoiler be there?
Unless the spoiler has the final, like the Venom on his face or something, some kind of thing that they do it. You know what I mean?
I guess we shall see.
It's gonna be Paul. That's why.
I'm intrigued. That's what I'm saying is I'm hoping that that's not the case based on how they advertised everything, but we'll see, man. There's also the 1 in 100 incentive, which is also the spoiler cover. I'm imagining that's going to be just a virgin version of the spoiler that's available as a regular cover price trade. Now, moving on from Venom, Daredevil, which everybody should be excited about because yes, we're getting Daredevil just in a couple of days, baby. I cannot wait for the show. But besides the show, Daredevil Cold Day in Hell issue number 1. We have the main cover right here. This is a mini series about Matt Murdock in the future. Now, I like this because when I read about this I'm hearing that he's kind of like not so much capable anymore with his powers type thing. He's working like a soup kitchen or whatever the hell's going on. But again, Avengers Twilight vibes is what I get, right?
Oh, I spoke to Mr. Steve McNiven, one of the best artists of the year 2000s, at Fan Expo, and he told me he was working on a great miniseries with his friend Charles Sewell, and it wouldn't be solicited until he has it all completed. So don't expect any kind of delays on this, guys. The book's been completed. He put it in the can. He had that whole new kind of like almost like a Jeff Darrow vibe to his art now. It's kind of morphed into like a lot more like thing, which suits an older Matt Murdock so well.
Yeah,
I'm so pumped for this. I think it's going to be Avengers Twilight meets Batman Dark Knight Returns. That whole vibe, kind of like hero at his end of his run, right? And looks back on his life and tries to make one last kind of hurrah to help people. I love those stories as much as I love the Kill Bill stories. So the Unforgiven story, you know what I mean? I'm all for this. This is going to be, I'm sure, the talk of the town, coming off right after in the middle of Daredevil Born Again, which has been getting phenomenal reviews as well. I think we're, as Daredevil fans, we be eating good. So let's get this going. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Must pick up.
So just to let everybody know, this is actually a 3-issue mini series. So it's going for only 3 issues. I'm totally going to pick this one up. I think this is probably going to be a sleeper pick for this week's FOC. Probably going to be a wonderful story that people are going to be talking about once it releases. So I'm looking forward to this one. Now, here's an interesting one. It's Helverine issue number 5. This is the Capuccio variant. Now, possibly people have not even seen this yet. So this is actually the spoiler cover. First appearance and cover of Hell Hulk. And I gotta say the design looks beast, absolutely menacing. Dude, it's mortifying, but I get Titan vibes from this, and I saw somebody in our chat say that a couple of days ago, and it's
Lefteros.
immediately what I saw as well.
Oh no, it wasn't Lefteros. Lefteros comment. Look, I don't get Titan vibes at all, and I'll explain to you why. Titan was a personification of Banner Hulk having a different iteration. This is a whole different one, and I don't think Titan was like a bunch of shards kind of thing, almost like Warlock. This has straight up spikes and horns. This is literally Hell Hulk. You know what I mean? To fight Helverine. I'm so down with this. Maybe it's the fact that Cappuccio just draws bestial, savage animals so well, but this looks like something you see out of a Labyrinth movie. You know what I mean? Like terrifying. You know, like it's basically the devil souped up on like steroids. So it's terrifying. It's like the devil with Reacher's body. Yeah. So
dude,
it's
a hulked up demon.
It's a hulked up demon. Yeah. Oh, this looks incredible. And you know, Benjamin Percy is gonna get his rocks off having Helverine chop at this bestial thing, and it's gonna be gruesome and insane because he loves the violence.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited to see how it plays out. I want to see more about this character. Again, I do get Titan vibes, not in a sense of like, oh my god, it looks like Titan, but kind of like, remember how there was hype behind Titan and then after it kind of fell flat? I hope this character doesn't fall flat.
I'm just saying, Donny, guys, the Donny Cates Thor and the Donny Cates Hulk run got sidetracked because Donny Cates, something really bad happened to Donny Cates. The dude was out of commission for like 3 years. So all that Titan stuff where people talk about it and the Thor stuff, he was out of commission. So his stories didn't get the full breadth of what they should have got, you know? Yeah. Hopefully he comes back and he can finish that Thor stuff that he had with Thanos going, you know? Yeah. We'll see if that ever happens. So I don't hold it against him. And I'd love to have seen what happened, what he really planned with Titan, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, Helverine issue 5 gives us the first appearance and cover of Hell Hulk, which looks absolutely insane. Now, moving forward, we have Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 32. This is the main cover. First appearance of Warcry, which is pretty cool, I guess. I've not really been up to speed fully with the Miles Morales stuff, but it does go without saying that you know, and anybody making a first appearance with Miles Morales could hit.
Spec wise, yeah, that's important. I want to just shout out that we've gotten 32 issues of Miles Morales without a restart. I think in this day and age, in a Miles book, that we deserve a clap.
This is almost the longest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You know what? And Cody Ziegler has done excellent work on Miles. He's doing excellent work on Deadpool. The fact that he enhanced Miles' story with the Wakandan spider god that he associated with. Vincenti has done wonderful art. So you know what? I'm down with this. I hope it. And he's writing the Ultimates crossover too, the crossover with the Ultimate thing. So we might even see Miles' book take place in the Ultimate universe for a while. Yeah. You know, you know what? I'm thinking I'm seeing really cool things. I like his new costume. I pick it up. I've always liked Miles. You know, I think they've done a wonderful job on this series. So, and exactly, Ellie Poole is here to stay. Like Cody Ziegler is doing some really good work on his 2 books that he has, and I'm very happy that it's up to issue 32. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to see within the chat there's a lot of love. Cliff is in the house. What's going on, Cliff? But yeah,
I gotta 1 second. My boy Baker, who I adore, King in Black ended fine. Guys, the villain loses. I remember, Baker, you remember this. When Infinity Gauntlet ended, everybody was complaining that Thanos, he gave up the gauntlet because of he had self-doubts. How can Thanos lose? Everybody always hates the end when the villain loses. Come on. In 10 years, people are going to love King in Black. They've already started loving it and lamenting how Venom was great. Where's King in Black already? Come on. Enough of this. Revisionist history.
So with that theory, in 10 years, Chia Pet is going to be the biggest fan of Cody Rhodes. But guys, Miles Morales. Miles Morales, Spider-Man issue 32, main cover, first appearance of Warcry. Now, up next, we have Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, issue 7. You know I got you on that one. Main cover right here. First team appearance of the pool party. I love this. I love it. Dude, the cover alone is pretty cool.
Anytime you have 8-Ball on the cover, it's always a good time.
Yeah, man.
So Moon Knight, Jed McKay is going to go down as the best writer in Moon Knight history. He's done, what is it now? Are we looking at 50 issues, 60 issues now? His run has been, his run has been seminal. He has contributed so much to it. The art has been wonderful, even though they've lost maybe one of the biggest reasons why it was hitting it with Capuccio. No, I'm loving this. I'm loving everything Jed's been doing, and I'm definitely going to pick this up because the pool party just sounds like the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, it really does. And like you said, anytime you got 8-Ball on a cover, man, you're in for a good time. I do want to say, let me blow up this picture for just a second. I just want to see that. Yeah, I don't know. The pool stick looks like it's going in the wrong direction there. In the wrong direction.
Why would
but do you not find?
Yeah, I agree. Now that you mentioned it, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But anyways, moving on, we got Universal Monsters, The Mummy, issue number 1. This is a new miniseries, and the miniseries is based on the Universal property, The Mummy. So that's pretty cool. Pick up for yourself? Yes or no?
I picked up every single issue 1 of this. Every one of them. Loved the Dracula one. Picked up the whole thing. Yeah, this one is for me is a must get just because that cover is incredible. It has a cool animation vibe to it, kind of thing, like almost like Creature Commandos type thing going on here. I think it just looks so cool. And and I've always loved the Mummy in general, just the wraps and everything. So this is a pickup for me, and the background has also the wraps also in the back. So yeah, it's a pickup just because I'm loving the cover. When I read it, even though they've been very good, I'm not sure if I have enough time to read everything. That's the thing. But yeah, it's definitely a pickup for me.
Look, I will say Universal Monsters Frankenstein was incredible. I really enjoyed that.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that they hit again with this one, because the Frankenstein one was really good. Really good. If I'm not mistaken, on FOC, I think there's like a trade paperback or something that's available.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, for Frankenstein. But Universal Monsters, The Mummy, issue 1. Here is the cover A. Again, looks pretty cool. But the 1 in 50 incentive, that's nice. Pretty sick. Yeah, man.
That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's real nice. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Can't go wrong, man. Martin Simmons on this
one. Oh, that's right. Martin Simmons.
Yeah.
A beast.
It's absolutely wicked cover for 1 in 50. These are my type of ratios. Give me Marvel. Take note here.
They're not. They could see it. They just ain't copying this.
Yeah,
that costs too much money for that.
Absolutely. But anyways, that's really sick. Speaking incentives, guys, Radiant Black has hit not an entire reset on the universe, but there's a lot of changes that have come on within the universe as of late. This right here is a 1 in 25 incentive by Jock, which is really good. It kind of reminds me of a previous cover. I can't remember which issue it was, but man, I think this is just a really cool incentive. Very nice cover, man. Jock does great work in general.
Yeah. Great stuff. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
I love this one. Now, Doll Parts, A Lovesick Tale, issue number 4. I say this every time this book makes the list. It's something that I've completely neglected and left off of my reading list, but everyone's telling me I got to get on it, so I will. But here we have the cover C. This is the Virgin Connecting variant cover depiction of Domino by Luana Vecchio. And not only do we have that, you have this 1 in 10 incentive that is really, really nice as well by Vecchio. I like the 1 in 10 more.
The 1 in 10 is better. There's no doubt about that. I agree with you 100%. These books, they're gorgeous. Every time I'm processing them and everything, loving it. I haven't got into it because it's too out there. and I just can't go down that road. I mean, my brother tells me, he comes out, he's like, "There's another sick book, like it's disturbing," and I'm like, I'm done. I can't do that. There's a limit, you know what I mean? But yeah.
The chat is pointing out that this is also the final issue of the miniseries, so there's also some weight to that on that aspect. But again, I think the 1 in 10 is wicked. She's
Alex got us right there. It's really intense. Yeah.
She's holding literally two skulls.
Yeah.
I gotta read this. I gotta say, I'm devastated now.
Yeah, the skulls got you, eh?
Yeah, no, but dude, the covers alone have been incredible, and a lot of praise, especially within the chat and within the community, so to speak.
Immortal loves them. I mean, he loves them. Like, my brother loves them. Alex here, praises it like crazy. Sam, everybody who reads it thinks it's incredible.
So yeah, I definitely got to get on board this, but the covers look incredible, as I said. Now back to Marvel for a quick second. We have Concert of Champions #1. Yes, that sounds tacky as hell, but first team appearance of Deep Void. Now solicitation mentions a top secret debut is going to take place as well within this one. Now apparently Deep Void is a death metal band, which you already have my attention, guys. I love this little cover right here of the cover A because you can see the fist of many types of Marvel superheroes, characters, etc. And yeah, man, I think it's interesting. Deep Void, sure, but what's piquing my interest is the top secret debut. What's going on with that?
First of all, I love the covers that have like the hands, like the references to something else, in the concert. That's always cool. And I think there was a Spawn cover with the prison, or was it? I can't remember. There was a few covers that have like the hands, or it was Cerebrus. Anyways, I can't remember. But really cool. Nice play on words of Concert of the Champions instead of Contest of the Champions. Cool.
Yeah.
Is the Deep as a top secret debut just like a band, a woman band or something? Are they gonna flip it on us like that? To compete on the bands. Look, man, I grew up. I even watched the cartoon Gem and the holograms. So yeah, I'm definitely picking up one of these things because this is definitely my jam. So yeah, I'm gonna get this because the cover looks cool, and who knows what this top secret debut is? You know?
Well, hang tight, guys, because whether you wanted to
that's the one.
Yeah, whether you wanted to pick up the book because of what I just said, or maybe you're into Marvel Rivals because we have more Marvel Rivals covers that are coming our way. And of course, on this cover, we get the one and only Luna Snow. Beautiful cover, Marvel Rivals. I don't think I need to speak deeply onto that. Obviously, a huge success. People loving this. The covers do relatively well. I would say it's a little too late. The game's been out.
The first one was obviously,
yeah. People are on board now. They're well aware of this, so shops are ordering them up. But a nice cover, nonetheless.
I'm just gonna do a little caveat on that. I think this cover. I think it's not the same as it used to be. Like there's no way that people are gonna sleep on it. But a lot of shops order on autopilot. They don't even pay attention to what's there.
No.
So even though they got clipped on the first run of Marvel Rivals, a month happened, absence makes it go, make them forget, and they don't order enough again because they think that everything because they just do cover A, they'll hit this and they won't pay attention. If there's no incentives for this, they won't order any of the extra other covers and they'll be left behind. So it still may have a little bit of thing. FOC it because you may not find it on the rack. So just FOC it, this stuff kind of guys, these peculiar covers. Ensure you get one at least, and no one can complain afterwards if you want one. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm picking this one up. I
agree with Sam there. This is the kind of one that they don't pay attention to. This in a big heavy FOC, they're gonna have to make cuts, and this is something that might get cut.
Yeah, you guys are definitely not wrong. But for myself, like I said, obviously other shops that are capable of ordering and stocking up. I could imagine they see Marvel Rivals and they're gonna order up a few copies. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it does go under the radar. But I'm picking this up, guys. We still have the opportunity to pre-order, and I'm definitely picking it up. Love Luna Snow, and I love this cover. Now, speaking video games and comic books, there's also some more Capcom Marvel versus Capcom variants that are available. And the Fighting Collection video game had launched towards the end of last year. lots of covers came out. Some of them even started to gain some traction on the secondary market, making the top 10 lists over on Covrprice or other platforms as well. To the left-hand side here on the screen, you see West Coast Avengers issue number 6 with War Machine, and I think it looks absolutely badass.
Yes.
But the winner, in my opinion, right here is the Bengus Magneto for X-Men 14. Love that. I've already fallen down the rabbit hole. I have to pick them all up, so it is what it is. I'm picking up both.
I'm a sucker for these collections. The Disneyfied Mark Brooks, the Capcom, the Rivals. They get me with all of them. You know, that's one thing that Marvel has done well is the ideas of these cross book variant themes. You know, they always get me. And the Magneto one just looks like something you saw out of a video game coming at you with the magnetic bubble force field around him. Yeah. And he's about to wreak havoc. Yeah. No, I'm all for it. And the War Machine is really good too. And the War Machine might be slept on. That's the one that can be slept on more of the two. So that's the one UFOC guys for sure. Because the Magneto people may get. The War Machine people will sleep on.
Yep. I like both. Like I said, I'm gonna pick them both up. But since we're on the train of video games, let's get to it. Because Marvel Rivals, the highly anticipated issue number 1, is going to be making its way. And now, of course, this is collecting the Marvel Rivals Infinity comic that was available in a digital platform, but it contains codes as well for a special Jeff the Landshark in-game item, which is a great marketing tool by Marvel. I think, you can't go wrong with that. People are going to be scouting these out, trying to pick them up. Kids are going to hit the shops. Adults are going to hit the shops wanting to get those codes if you're playing the video game. But it doesn't end here with this awesome cover A, which I think is stunning, by the way. I love this cover for this Marvel Rivals. But, dude, look at these covers right here. I love them both. I'm picking up all 3 of these. Again, I know it's a pretty heavy price tag. I think it's a $5.99 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But you got the Sabatini variant right there. Jeff the Landshark in his beach gear, I guess, so to speak. He's wearing his floaties, his snorkeling gear. Love that cover. But the Adam Warren variant is just wicked. I love that we have Galacta front and center on this cover. Of course, other characters as well from the game, like Squirrel Girl, who I don't believe has ever graced the cover under the Marvel Rivals, books that have come out as of yet by Natisse. So just an example of some reasons to want to pick this up. But you also get the 1 in 100, which unfortunately Marvel is doing the 1 in 100 Virgin Peach Momoko cover that was available for Fantastic Four 28. I don't know if you guys remember that issue. Momoko, Marvel Rivals, Galacta.
Great cover.
Jeff the Landshark. Beautiful cover. But dear Lord, couldn't you give us something new, man?
Is it even recolored? It's not even recolored.
No, it's just a Virgin.
It's literally just a Virgin of a different book. It's a little bit tacky, let's be honest. Yeah. Great cover. It warrants the love it's getting, but it's a tacky. It's a tacky one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, tacky move. Tacky move.
This is annoying, dude. Sam L in the chat saying this is such a slap in the face. I agree, man. It's so frustrating to see Marvel do such things, but whatever. This is the 1 in 100 incentive. People are going to want to pick this up. It's a wonderful cover as a Virgin. Looks great. Momoko fans, of course, will spend the extra coin, but I think this is pretty annoying, and I'm going to leave it 100%. At that. But I'm excited for Marvel Rivals just the same. Now, speaking awesome covers, Fantastic Four versus Hulk number 1, the garbage variant, dude. Oh man, yeah, I'm loving these fight poster style covers here. We had like Godzilla with Thing. Now we have Godzilla with Hulk. They look so good, dude. Like I want to blow this up and make this a poster in my basement. You know what I mean?
They should be framed in the house. The whole series. They're that cool.
Yeah.
They're this tacky, cool vibe that they have going. Incredible. Love it.
So good.
Must cover by. That's it.
Yeah, absolute cover by. Nothing else behind this. I don't think many people care for Fantastic Four versus Hulk, or Hulk versus Godzilla. Sorry. We'll see. But anyways, I think this is awesome. Now, Another wicked cover, guys. Maliv has absolutely slayed it with Psylocke issue number 6.
It's crazy.
Dude, it makes no sense how good this cover is. Like,
It's insane.
like this is a ratio style cover in my opinion, right? And we're getting
I didn't even make sense. Like my mind was like, what do you mean it's an open order?
Yeah.
When I was doing my FOC, I'm like, it's an open order?
Yeah.
I looked at it like 3 times. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's obviously a pickup. She looks complete badass.
Yeah. Even the cover 8, by the way, is really nice.
Yes.
Yes.
The book has been good, by the way. Straight up good. Like not even like no caveats. No good for this. Straight up good book. The covers have been multiple covers every week have been good. Every time it's released have been good. And this one may be the best one. This is an all-timer Psylocke cover.
Yeah,
it's an all-timer. You know,
up there for sure. Wonderful cover. I think Maliv did a fantastic job on this. Like I said, there's the cover A as well that's available. There's another cover by Fan Yang. Beautiful cover as well. The covers are stunning, but Maliv takes the cake. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. It's an all-timer.
This is an automatic pickup for myself. Linman saying the Fan Yang cover got him, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's just absolutely amazing as well. But for me, this Maliv is just absolutely sick. Lucky Devils number 1 back on the indie train has a 1 in 25 incentive for the 3rd printing. And who do we got on this incentive? We got Jenny Frizen, baby.
That is, I mean, look, man, I'm a sucker for Jenny Frizen. I know people say, oh, it's always the same. Look at this thing. It's gorgeous. Yeah. She's an incredible artist. It's awesome. I definitely, if you could find this, pick it up. It's awesome.
Yeah. Beautiful cover for Lucky Devils. I enjoy Lucky Devils as a read, man. It's pretty fun.
Boy Sue.
Yeah, the first issue was really good. Second issue as well. So can't go wrong. 3rd printing on Lucky Devils number 1, the 1 in 25. Speaking phenomenal covers, though, guys, we're being spoiled. Like I said, it hurts the wallet this week because G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, issue 315, has an Andy Kubert cover that is just absolutely wicked. Like, it looks so good, dude.
It is. My brother just finished catching up on the Larry Hama run, and he's been telling me that it's been literally incredible. He goes, it's awesome. And this cover, I was talking about it with JF earlier as well. It's a banger. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's the right colors, bro. The right colors, everything.
It's Andy Kubert at the top of his game right now. Like, that's amazing. And it's interesting how they got Kubert working on a military book. Like his dad made his bones on Sergeant Rock, if I'm not mistaken. That was where he was big. Joe Kubert made his big thing on the war books.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is just, it's impeccable. It's a must buy. It's straight up. If you like G.I. Joe in any way, this is a must buy.
Yeah, Jay in the house, man. All of you who are tuning in live rather than watching the Oscars, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I can't believe anybody would even be interested in the Oscars, to be honest. But
the Oscars are good.
I guess, dude. I saw Deadpool was apparently there, so that's pretty cool. He made a little cameo during a segment, if I'm not mistaken, some dance. Well, correct me if I'm wrong.
I haven't seen it, but I still have beef with them. The fact that they didn't nominate Quebec-born Denis Villeneuve, who was incredible job directing Dune. But whatever, I'll take we'll take it.
There you go.
Maybe Timothy may win.
Love for Comics says he only loves comics, and Dan Delatorre, my brother, saying the Oscar sucks balls, and I appreciate you, Dan, for speaking facts and truth, baby. But back to G.I. Joe.
I appreciate you, Dan, even though you're wrong on that one.
Stop it, G.I. Joe. Real American Hero 315 also has a 1 in 10 incentive that is absolutely sick as well. Portela is on this one. I know that people tend to get a little fatigued when it comes to the negative space stuff, but this very well executed. I think, again, another cover for G.I. Joe that stands out. It pops. It's really good.
I don't know what's happening with G.I. Joe and the covers being incredible since they went over to Skybound and Image. but this one is another banger. The Snake Eyes was great. The Baroness one is incredible. The Duke was great. The Stalker last week with the camouflage was was wonderful. And now this. A quick question, guys. A question for the chat. What mask do we prefer on Cobra Commander? This one or the cloth one that flows off his face?
This one for me.
I just wondered. For me, I think I'll go with the cloth one. I think it has a kind of a Baron Zemo vibe, but they're both amazing. Like I love, and this covers. If you can find it, boys, pick it up. And these ones are going to be more rare, guys, because less people are buying this series than they are buying the main series. So watch out for these ones.
Yeah, the obviously the Void Rival stuff has really ramped up. Everybody's on board with that, and I agree with you, Chia, that this might be a sleeper. I think this is one that for sure, if you have the opportunity, pick it up because it's stunning. Now, what would anything comic related be without talking about Mark Spears? Because Thundercats issue 14 has a cover S. That's how far we're going. S, guys. The cover has Panthro on it, and it is, of course, done by Mark Spears. Love him or hate him, here he is. And Mark Spears covers have been doing very well on all aspects. So let's see how this one does.
Oh, this is just awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, Panthro looks incredible. This may be the best depiction of Panthro I've ever seen.
Yeah, well,
it's that good of a cover. It's smoking.
Buckle up, Chia, because it's also available in a 1 in 10 incentive as a virgin.
No.
Yeah.
You're telling me Dynamite's using the same Spears cover in multiple ways?
No. They wouldn't.
I don't believe you. It's impossible.
Yeah, exactly. 20 covers for issue 14. Good grief. Exactly, Derek. That's where we're at with this one. But hey, man, I do agree with you. It does look great. But speaking Mark Spears, guys, I saw a comment earlier in the chat about this. Vampirella #1, man. This is a cover selection by Lefteros again. Mark Spears doing great work here. It's interesting because Vampirella, there's a lot of good covers available for Vampirella. Although I always say this, I'm not sure how many people actually read Vampirella. Most, I assume, pick them up for the cover.
Come on.
But Mark Spears, of all Mark Spears covers, I fuck with this one. This is a really nice one, man. Vampirella, looking absolutely amazing. The perfect curves where they belong, and you also have it in a 1 in 50 incentive as well. The regular cover being the typical classic, I guess we can say now, Mark Spears blue on the covers, but here you have this neon green going on with the 1 in 50, which is really nice. But Chia, as much as I love Mark Spears, a good point brought up here by Lefteros, guys. The cover eye is a black polybag risque Vampirella cover by Perillo. Now, you have her completely topless on this cover, and I don't think we've gotten many Vampirella covers where she's topless on the actual title, right? I'm sure we've had many other versions of books where she's topless, but this one here, I think is going to do well on the secondary market.
Yeah, Perillo and Naked Chick. That seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
If you're looking to pick up a book that people are going to sleep on because they're all going to go for the Mark Spears, this is the one. I mean, that just to make, because there's a million versions of Mark Spears, they're all running for that, and they're all going to sleep on this. You know who hasn't slept on this? I don't believe our boy Armin in the chat. Gear Up 360. Great presser if you need it in the Montreal area or anywhere in Canada. This is one of his cover selections right off the bat. He's agreeing with Terry. They're both on the same page, and it's smart.
I picked one up. I put it up there as the breast cover this week. I will use that every chance I get, guys. Vampirella. Go ahead.
Sorry, last week's New Comic Book Day, Pop Kill. Go look what's happening on the aftermarket already. I think it's a $25 book already. The what's the name again? Still Freeze cover.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. Derek, I gotta check this out, but Derek asking if Laura from Bird City Comics wanted to do a topless cover of Vampirella, and apparently they said no. So I'll check with her on Tuesday when I connect with her for the Covrprice top 10 and ask her that, because now I'm very curious. Or I'll just message her after the show, because that would be pretty interesting that now they move forward with that. Yes,
Verlo
Jay,
has
definitely.
clout, though.
Definitely not approved by the Comic Code Authority for this one, but I think this is a good pickup, guys. Don't sleep on this. This one, dude, people like titty covers on out there, so you you might want to pick it up. Back to Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. There's a Rose Besh cover that's available, as well as a regular trade that you can pick up, but we have a 1 in 200 incentive. Man, they're skipping 100. They're going to 200 of the Rose Besh cover. And it is available in a Virgin. Chia, I already saw you nod your head.
200. It's a
Right?
beautiful cover. I'm a massive fan of Rose Besh. As a person, she was wonderful to speak to. She had so much time for me and Chris when we went to meet her at Fine Expo.
Yeah.
Chris was able to his first interview
Was Rose Besh.
for Rose Besh for Comic Legion. He was nervous. She was super sweet. Her work is incredible. Just that it's out of my price range for a 1 in 200. That's what it stinks, you know?
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. The texture in the background and everything. Love it.
Yeah. I honestly, I look forward to hopefully one day meeting Rose Besh, because you spoke highly of her. She was apparently, like you said, a sweetheart with Chris on his first ever interview, which is really cool. And yeah, man, Leftero was saying this is a stained glass cover, so it's a pretty cool concept, especially with Daredevil. Now, moving forward, they did it again. Marvel Ultimate Wolverine #1, 1 in 25 incentive. This is the Delato cover that we had available as well on a previous print. I believe it was the first printing, and now it is a Virgin on the third printing. So if you guys are into it and you like this Virgin, well, you have a chance to pick this one up. Chia?
Again, wonderful cover, great book, kind of like tacky.
Yeah. Sam Al asking, have we asked Rose Besh what she thought of her interaction with Nick? I think if
she was begging to give me her number, and I said no, we got to keep it professional.
Yeah.
That's what she thought, Sam.
More reason to not believe a word this man ever says, guys. But Ultimate Wolverine #1, the 1 in 25 incentive by Delato. Here's an interesting one, guys. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur 10th anniversary special #1. Now, this variant, the Ram Sharon, right? I think I said it right. Variant, first appearance and cover of Devil Girl are Sorry?
It's flipped. It's Devil Girl and Moon Dino. Before we've always known her as Moon Girl and Devil Dino.
Yes, there you go. So Devil Girl and Moon Dino. So correction there. My apologies. But first appearance and cover of Devil Girl. Artemisia? Is that how we're saying the name? Artemisia? And Moon Dino Skrex. So these are new characters, guys. This is not Moon Girl as we've known in the past. Apparently this character is from the future. And so is the Moon Dino, and it seems at some point we're gonna have her travel back into current time. So those interactions could be cool, but I like this. I think this is totally worthy of a pickup. Perfect homage to Moon Girl #1. So yeah, I like it.
Cover looks pretty sweet, straight up. My brother read this book, loved it, thought it was wonderful. Not just good, he goes really good. So, but yeah, too much FOC. There's so much stuff. Yeah. But yeah, and the thing about it is, on a week like this is the kind of book that slips through the cracks.
Yes.
Right here, this is the kind of stuff. If people are not paying attention, people haven't had a chance to read it, they miss it. The shop misses it because they're so busy and everything. And
not
pay attention.
Not
so
only that,
make sure you FOC it. Yeah, guys.
Not only that, Chia, it's not only that people might miss it, but there's so much good stuff on FOC that people cannot always afford everything that's available. And like you said, this might slip through the cracks. People got to make budget cuts, etc. And so this could be a book that people cut from their list. Now, there's also a 1 in 10 incentive that's available for this one, kind of like Marvel's done in the past with these design variant covers for characters. So this is pretty neat. I myself prefer the variant that I just showed you right before this. So I'm going to go ahead and order myself that one. Now, the big book of the week that everybody has been waiting for is Batman 158. The cover A, of course, first full appearance of Silence. Hush is back, baby. I love how on Hush, on this cover where it says Hush, you have the two going across the U. Because Hush is back, man. And I think everybody's excited about this. Some people have had the opportunity to get an advanced read on this. Some said it was underwhelming. Some said it was absolutely amazing. So I'm going to judge this for myself. I look forward to reading this. I don't give a shit what people are saying. I'm going to assess this myself. Hush being back, let's go, baby. This is going to be a fun one.
Hush, the first Hush was never the greatest written comic out there. It was an event, a fun, seminal event in Batman. You had basically Jeff Loeb, superstar writer at the time, and Jim Lee at the height of his game, taking over Batman for 12 issues and doing a murderer's row of his rogues gallery, right? Adding a new mystery in there. So it was never like it wasn't Dark Knight Returns or Batman Year One. Yeah. You know, it was a fun story. So people reading this and saying it's underwhelming, I call bullshit. It's just that they're haters or they misremember how Hush 1 was, basically. And they're elevating it to the point where, like, basically, I've always maintained Court of Owls is a better story than Hush. Yeah. Both deal with the secret of Batman and Bruce Wayne and Gotham and everything. Snyder and Capullo's Court of Owls is better than Hush. But Hush has a moment. It's a moment in time, and it's frozen in our brains as being an incredible story. And I'm sure this is going to be a worthwhile successor. It's Jim Lee. Look at that cover. It's incredible. Batman gliding through the city. It's going to be the same thing that the first one was. A really cool mystery and a new character. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, we're getting a new one. We have Silence. That's going to be making the debut. But one thing to factor, guys, already without factoring what I'm about to tell you, this book's going to be highly ordered. Everybody's anticipating this. They've been excited about this. You got Jeff Loeb on this, Jim Lee, Scott Williams, dude. Jim Lee alone, like I'm excited about that. But there's a 1 in 1,000 incentive that is available, and I could imagine shops are going to try to reach for that one. And Leftero says the same thing within the article that is available on Covrprice regarding FOC. Shops reaching out for that, it's going to flood the market. There's going to be a ton of these cover A's available, or whatever other covers that make you qualify for the 1 in 1,000. Now, speaking qualifying for the 1 in 1,000, one that doesn't let you qualify apparently is the cover S that is available. Chia, you had something you wanted to say?
Quick question.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of exclusives for this? I haven't checked.
Exclusives I haven't seen. I have not seen exclusives for it, but I have seen multiple covers that are available on Previews World. Just there alone, there's a lot of them.
Okay. Yeah. No. That I know. I know. And also, thank you, Dan and Ben, for the kind words. It's the few that I hear every so often on these streams, so I'll take that as a win.
Yeah, no, there are retailer incentives. Unfortunately, I'm seeing there's one for 616 Comics, John Jiang. You've got Big Time Collectibles with the logo foil that is available. In Case Comics has one, which is a pretty nice cover. Golden Apple Comics has one. Midtown has one. It's a Nakayama cover. You've got High Horse Comics. So there's quite a few exclusives available for this, which is also going to drive those numbers for the.
I think there's a possibility this hits 1 million.
Yeah, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong.
I think we're going to hit first print with all the covers and the exclusives and everything. I think we're seeing 600K minimum.
Yeah, because people are going to be stretching for that 1 in 1,000. They're going to be
there's going to be around 600, 1 in 1,000. I could see that 100%.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, now, I would still pick up this book and even some of the multiple covers because I think they're really cool. But be wary and don't maybe go all in for certain things.
Yes. Now, as you can see here on the slides, there's two connecting covers that are black and white. It's 608 ratio. That's the ratio, and obviously you guys know exactly why they did that. And it's connecting. So obviously, if you want to pick up both ratios in the black and white sketch, 608 is the order. In order to qualify for that, there's a 1 in 250 Jim Lee sketch as well that's available for the Batman 158. It's basically the cover A, the Jim Lee, and it's available in a sketch. But the 1 in 1000 Jim Lee wraparound variant is the colored one that you see at the forefront. Now, apparently, you're going to be able to get that, and it comes signed. So,
I think all of them come signed.
Yeah. So, well, I think it's only the 1 in 1000 and the 1 in 608s that are coming signed. So
yeah, that's what I meant all three that I was seeing in there.
Yeah.
Picture. Yeah.
So that's why people are going to be shooting for this. They want to be able to get
double
this.
signed, right?
Yeah, I believe it's double signed. So that hold on, let me check. Actually, the Jim Lee wraparound variant. I think it's just Jim Lee signing. I hope that's not the case. It would be better if you can get both of them to sign that.
So, also there was a cover that was available last week on FOC because I believe it had to be pre-ordered a week earlier. I'm not sure if that counts towards that as well. People should look into that. And I believe I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This cover is okay.
Yeah.
It's not as nice as the cover A and as some of the other ones.
I agree.
I think Batman's looks a bit weird. His chest going out there, now, to be honest.
Yeah. So
I've seen Jim do better.
That Batman 158 foil that's available, the Hush Batman symbol one. Apparently, that one doesn't count towards the ratio either. So that's interesting. I don't know if shops are probably going to skip on that, or maybe they're not fully aware. I hope they are, but that's apparently not going to count towards the order for the ratio. So that's another thing to factor as well. Now, 158, like I said, clear as day. I think it's going to be heavily ordered. A lot of people are going to want to pick this up. Leftero saying he doesn't want to spoil anything, but it's a great Batman book. So that's good news to hear.
I trust my brother's opinion on that. And I love me some Hush. So I even have a 9.8 Hush sitting there right there because can you guys see it right there? That's always been one of my favorites. I remember meeting Jim Lee at Philadelphia con, Wizard Con. So it's always been one of my favorite books.
Yeah, but another fun thing to have within your collection and shops might not be fully aware of. You guys might want to let them know. Batman 159 has a launch party ash can that's available right now on FOC. So it's basically a 12-page preview of Batman issue 159. Love me some ash cans. I'm totally going to scoop this up. And maybe your shop doesn't know. So maybe let them know, or go visit Comic Legion or comicnation.us, comiclegion.ca. Of course, the boys are very well aware and keep an eye out for such amazing things. Your shop should have a copy for you. Exactly. Leftero saying that in the chat. But yeah, man, it's definitely a fun book to have in your collection. I'm totally
loving this cover too. Looks great.
Yeah, I'm asking my shop to set one aside for me. That's me telling you, CHIA, directly. Please set it aside for me.
I'll put a note for Chris.
Yeah.
I'm loving Michael Baker's comment. Batman's chest here is trying to compete with Liefeld's Captain America cover.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
There's no floating heads.
But I'm just gonna go back on record on the Rob Liefeld one. Everybody presumed that's a cover. It's never been a cover. It was a promo art that's been morphed into like a legend. You know?
Yeah, you're talking about the
weird one,
the notorious one,
the Schwarzenegger on steroids.
Yes, the Schwarzenegger on steroids. But yeah, no, that never did become a cover. If I'm not mistaken, I think they wanted to do some kind of thing like an exclusive.
It was a quick promo, yeah, maybe now, but when it was originally done, it was a quick promo that they whipped up for the Heroes Reborn storyline, you know, and then it's just morphed out into like a legend.
Yeah. But I always love looking back at the Captain America issue. I think it was issue 1 with the floating head.
It was issue 2, I think. No, or one of the variants. Is that just random heads everywhere?
Most random. Liefeld cover ever, and I'll never
Rob
understand it.
was
On something, on something.
listen, for me, when Rob entered the scene, because I remember picking up the New Mutants 87 from Jacob's Depanneur next to my house.
Yeah.
I thought, who is this dude, Cable? Why is this cover so awesome? And it was incredible. He shot out of the gate like a bat out of hell. He never honed his craft because he was so kinetic and he got away with it so much, you know? Exactly. And then he fell off on it. But he was a kinetic burst of energy when he first came on there. And he's fun. Yeah. He's a little bit crazy, though.
Yes. Lately, I'd have to agree with you. But guys, those were the FOC picks of the week. We finally made it through the entire list by Lefteros. As I said, if you guys want to know more, you can always go read the entire article available over on covrprice.com. If you want to order any of these books, no one's telling you to order all of them. Pick up what you like. Go visit comicnation.us if you live in the United States. And if you live in Canada, go visit comiclegion.ca. Comic Nation gives you 15% off already. Use discount code BlackCrown to get an additional 5%. And Comic Legion is already giving you 20% off. But if it's your first order, then use discount code ENLIST to get an additional 5% off. Again, go visit coverprice.com to check out the entire article by Lefteros. And you can catch myself and the crew going live over on their YouTube channel every Tuesday with the top 10s, and Thursday nights bringing you the books that shook on the aftermarket, the Shakers list. And if you enjoyed any of this talk with FOC stuff, subscribe to this channel. Have some fun. Come kick it with me every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. But that concludes it for FOC. Chia, we got a short but spicy list for the market. So, sir, you ready?
My boy Baker. Let's go.
Vamos. All right, guys, market report. I'm looking at lists all across the board, whether it be House of Stein, CBSI, Key Collector, Covrprice, Go Collect, checking sales over on eBay. If you got a YouTube channel, if you got an Instagram account, I look at all your sales, man. But most importantly, the Baker Shakers. Michael Baker hitting me up every single day of the week with sales that take place over on eBay and multiple other websites as well. So let's see what's sold this week. The first book being Daredevil issue 227, a book that you've seen myself and the crew talk about many times on Covrprice the last couple of weeks. But this one in particular is a newsstand edition. It is the issue where Kingpin discovers Daredevil's identity, and a CGC 98 in a newsstand sold for $1,300 US. It is a Covrprice daily shaker as I was browsing the website, and this one was impressive. A book I always say that I thought would have popped prior, especially with the Netflix series and how it ended off. Now coming towards Disney, it kind of took some time to get some traction, but in a newsstand, look at that premium.
Well, I can't remember where I saw this. And I remember hearing that the newsstand only really hits premium when it's in the 9.8.
Yeah.
Especially in the and I remember speaking with Lefteros, and he was mentioning how there's a lot of like Uncanny X-Men from this run that hit 9.6s. The 9.8s, again, it's the premium. So when you couple the 80s books, right, and a newsstand, you end up getting a premium like this.
Yeah.
You know, because it's hard to get a 9.8 with the unforgiving the printing quality. But I personally love this book. I would love to have a 9.8 in this book. I would not pay the premium for a newsstand. I fully understand why it goes for that. I just wouldn't, because the newsstand thing doesn't drive me a lot. You know, it's not something that drives me as a collector. Like, I don't need that extra premium, but I can understand why you would, because it's such a few and far between.
Yeah,
you know, getting this stuff. You know, for sure.
On the newsstand side, yeah, I get it, man. Especially that this paper is basically like some cheap ass toilet paper you can get from the dollar store or whatever. But you know, you factor also Frank Miller. For the sake of Reed, let's just talk about that. Frank Miller being on this, like, for me, this is classic Frank Miller. I know a lot of people now know Frank Miller for some of the work that he's been putting out, but like, let's go back to the OG Frank Miller that we all love and know. this right here is some of the better Daredevil reads, man. I really enjoyed this. So yeah, Daredevil 227 making the list as a newsstand. Simply
Before we move
because,
on for 1 second,
yeah,
I made a statement before, and I think I've told you this. Between the three biggest street level heroes, Daredevil, Batman, Spider-Man, Daredevils had the more seminal, daring runs than the other two. Love the other two. I'd probably say I like the other two more than I like Daredevil. His book has had more daring, seminal, great runs than the other two. I said it, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I don't agree with you. Like I said, the last time you said that, it's very debatable because certain arcs of Spidey are also equally as heavy, if not even heavier on some aspects. But I agree with you, Daredevil on that front. Yeah, you're not entirely wrong, Chia, and it's rare I give you that type of credit. But CGC 98, 1,300 for the newsstand premium of Daredevil 227. Now, up next, another book that's been going around and making lists all across the board. I labeled it a Baker Shaker, but whether it be CBSI, Key Collector, Covrprice, you name it, this book has made its way there. Red Hulk #1. It's the PX exclusive that just dropped, and it's limited to 3,000 copies. Why are people going crazy for this? Well, maybe it's the final PX exclusive ever. With everything happening over at Diamond, that could be the case. CGC 98 pre-sale, $180. I'm seeing this book vary in between ranges of $55 to $90 Canadian on a raw end. That's right, for the raw dog. But CGC 98, $180. Dude, if this is the final PX exclusive ever, I think this holds.
Yeah. And I think, by the way, it's a beautiful cover. Let's get that out of the way too.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's incredible. Now, it being the final Diamond cover ever, yeah, that's gonna hold 100%. This is a great book. I mean, if you can find it for a good price, snatch it up.
Yeah, not wrong, man. I think it's pretty interesting. Although I will say there are other PX exclusive covers that have come out in time that are way nicer, and I thought would be seeing a lot more premium, but no. Given the backstory of this one, if this is in fact going to be the final PX exclusive ever, I think it holds. The Red Hulk #1, CGC 98.
And this issue was good, well reviewed, and it was a good issue, by the way. It was actually a really good read. Yeah,
I don't disagree with you. Rocksteady's saying half the price in 6 months wouldn't shock me. Trust me, it would not shock me.
That's still pretty good for a $90 book.
Yeah, $90 for a CGC 98. Yeah, I guess. But anyways, we shall see. Time will tell on this one. But here's one that stood the test of time because Iron Man issue 10 back in 2013 gave us the movie poster 1:25 ratio. CGC 98 at $1,500 was a cover price. Daily Shaker. My oh my, dude.
Crazy.
I think,
it's nuts.
One, there's not many. There's not many of these on the census. We're in the double digits, but CGC 98, 1,500. Like, I could think of many Grail books that would happily be purchased for my collection at that price tag. But Iron Man, the movie, being such a huge, huge point for the MCU, if you're an Iron Man fan, I could see why you might want to pick this up.
Listen.
He's
to each their own. I mean, I can't go there with that.
Yeah, at 1,500.
Yeah, I can't. This is a bridge too far for me. And
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. You're like the biggest MCU buff I know, man.
No, but I mean, this is too much. This is just. It's a 1:25, I guess, and a hard book probably to get in a 9.8.
Yeah.
And it's an Iron Man 10. Who's ordering 25 copies of the Iron Man 10 issue?
And that's another thing to factor, man. Especially when we circle back to 2013, man.
People. Yeah, no one was buying books back then. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But it's just it's a lot of money. It's $1,500. But again, the people who are buying this for $1,500.
Yeah.
You know, they have a whole different spending habit and ability than most.
Yeah. Guys, I'm seeing the chat here saying that they miss newbie comics. He doesn't believe us when we tell him that he is missed by like only Dan Delatorre. But regardless, he's still missed. So let's put that out there.
Who misses Newbie?
Everybody
Oh yeah, that's
does.
right. We all miss Newbie.
Yeah, we do. Shout out to Newbie, man. Rocksteady saying he doesn't miss Newbie.
Because he sees him all the time.
Yeah, Newbie doesn't give us time to really miss him. But Iron Man issue 10, the 1-in-25 ratio, CGC 98, $1,500. Up next, though, the Incredible Hulk issue 182. This is a Mark Jewelers, and look at what a premium for a Mark Jewelers would go for on this one. For a CGC 8.0, $600 US. Cover price daily shaker. Again, I'm seeing premiums on newsstands, Mark Jewelers, and 8.0 at 600 is pretty impressive. This is a top sale, by the way, guys. This is the highest it's ever sold for in that grade.
In that grade, yeah. It's about to say, yeah. I mean, there's 3 books that are my big ones now that I want. It's 4 probably. 180, 181, and 182 are 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then there's a high grade Uncanny 94 probably, so I can complete my major Wolverine keys and Wolverine associated keys. So those are the ones I want. So this is definitely on my list, and this is definitely something I'd be looking to pick up. Dan, would this be a third appearance, or does Giant Size count as a third, or is that a second? Anyways, it's a whole bunch of mix up there now. There's a whole bunch of
especially if you want to throw Foom issue number 2 into the mix, because some people still consider that to be the first actual.
No, it's not. It's not.
Sorry about that. The first actual Wolverine.
It's not.
Yeah, it's a completely different take on the character. I don't even consider it to be that. But anyways, Incredible Hulk 182, Mark Jewelers CGC 8.0, $600 US. Now, a book that saw a lot of love, and I thought this would eventually, come back down rather quickly, but no, it doesn't seem to be the case. We have Aliens. Yeah, Aliens versus Avengers, number 1, the 1-in-100 ratio by Mark Brooks. The Mark Brooks cover is really wicked. I think Brooks did a phenomenal job on this cover, but Miles ends up with the Xenomorph costume in this particular issue. It went on to later prints, and obviously this cover by Mark Brooks was available as a regular trade, so you could have picked this up for a regular price tag. I believe the price tag was $9.99, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yep. So CGC 9.8 for this now. It's still holding, and it hit a top sale actually. $400 US, cover price daily shaker. This is the highest sale to date, and this is not immediately after the release. No, this is now as time has passed.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's pretty interesting because I really thought this was gonna tank out. You know what I mean? It hit a high immediately at launch, and I said, okay, this is gonna come down, kind of like what Rocksteady just said about the Red Hulk number 1. I thought, I think it will come down in time. Time will tell. But this one doing the complete opposite. This one's going upwards.
This is a classic book. It's merging the Xenomorph and a Venom, right? So automatically you're bringing in 2 of the coolest type, kind of like edge type things together. Brooks is a beast on covers. Like, the man is just, he kills them all. This one is just, it's gorgeous. And another thing, the cover price is really high, so stores shied away from picking it up. I mean, getting 100 of these is hard.
Yeah.
And most of the Jonathan Hickman books, by the way, are high cover price.
Yes.
Whatever he's doing, guys, Marvel pays him a lot. So when he's on a book, they want to make money off his books. So they're all like $5.99, $6.99, $9.99. So they're all big ticket books. So the ratio sometimes hold even more. And having Ribic and Hickman on a book, it creates value because the book is actually good.
Yeah.
For a crossover between properties, you'd figure, oh, it's one of those throwaway stuff. No, man. They took time and care to make this into a good story. So it's paying off. people want this book.
Yeah, and I think one of the key points that you bring up is the fact that this is a book that is $9.99. It's a $10 US book, so shops definitely not ordering 100 copies of this unless they were capable of doing so. And I think that is relatively minimal on that end. So Aliens versus Avengers #1, the 1 in 100 ratio by Mark Brooks. CGC 98 selling at $400 US. I could understand why. It was a cover price daily shaker and the highest sale to date, guys. Now, The Punisher 53, the most dollar book, you would assume, right? But Michael Golden cover, the reason why this is getting some love at all is because John Bernthal shared this particular cover over on his social media, on his Instagram. CGC 98, 85 US dollars. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but Key Collector had this as their trending 20 book. So it made the list there. But again, just because he shared this, the book moved so many copies on eBay. I go write this on eBay right now, guys. Hit the search engine. You're gonna see Punisher 53, multiple copies sold. And like I said, the most dollar book all day, every day, man.
Yeah. It's interesting that he chose to share a Punisher Final Days book. So does that mean we're going to see the end of the Punisher in the MCU in his special? We shall see.
Yeah.
Michael Golden does great Punisher covers. Almost all of them were good. I think he had a run called Suicide Run. Incredible. I hope we don't see the end of John Bernthal in the MCU because he's incredible. And the power. This is Star Power. He tags it MCU and Star Power. People are so pumped to see him and to see Daredevil. This Nothing book is popping off. That's the testament to them.
Yeah, I really hope it's not the case that we're not going to see the end of Bernthal within the MCU. As you said, he's also going to be writing and putting together the Marvel special presentation or whatever for the Punisher that's going to be taking place. So that I'm excited about. A lot of people are excited about, but the fact he posted this on social media had people wondering as well, like, is this where they're headed, kind of like you said. So we'll see. But like you said, Star Power got this one moving, multiple copies selling on eBay. The Punisher issue 53 CGC 98 had a sale of 85 US dollars and many other sales for raw copies. Now let's get into DC waters, because Flashpoint #1, the third printing, where it is the basic, Flashpoint cover that we all know, but it has a black background. It sold in a CGC 96 for 375 US dollars. There's only 10 total on the CGC census. That means across all grades, guys. And there was only 198 that exists on the census for this third printing. So just to show you how scarce this book is, it was a cover price daily shaker, hitting a top sale for a CGC 96 at 375. And I could only imagine what that 98 would go for if ever it makes its way to the secondary market.
Great story. I grew up in a time where having the first print was the key. The second and third prints were always lesser. So it's hard for me to get behind these crazy prices for later prints. But now that's a new market, right? Now the market is the more scarce later prints are what moves. So this makes sense to me. And it's a black background, so it's probably much harder to get in a high grade.
Yeah.
And the story is incredible, by the way. The story in Flashpoint was awesome. So you know what? I think it's a fair price, to be honest with you.
Michael Baker saying that particular single copy of the 9/8 was actually listed on eBay for $1,000 last summer during the release of the Flash movie. It did not sell, that he knows of anyways, but if it were to sell, I could imagine that being the price point for a 9/8. Sorry, the summer of 2023. Yeah, because I remember watching that in cinemas, and like people were still a little scared post-pandemic, sort of pandemic. And yeah, there was like two people. It was myself and Marcel, who's here in the chat, that were in the theater, and he fell asleep. I was just throwing popcorn at him to keep him up. But Flashpoint #1, the third printing, CGC 96, 375 US dollars. As I said, top sale for a CGC 96. I want to show you guys this. It's a book that I had on the list a couple of weeks ago, but Pop Kill issue number 4 had another big sale for a raw near mint copy. This cover is by Adam Hughes. It is the Kickstarter edition, and it's limited to 350 copies. This is a Baker Shaker. Raw near mint sold for $750 US. This was only available via the Kickstarter in certain tiers. So you had to purchase a certain amount. Apparently, only 260 copies sold via the Kickstarter. So I'm not too sure what happened with the rest of those copies, but it was limited to 350. Now, I know how everybody feels when it comes to limited prints. Is it really limited to 350? I know that this book is pretty much a ghost. And when it does make its way to eBay, it tends to sell rapidly.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful Adam Hughes cover. I love Adam Hughes' stuff. Had the opportunity to meet him at Terrificon with the boys who are here in the chat, like Hyper Combo Comics, Rocksteady, that guy Newbie everyone's talking about. But it's a ghost of a book. And Pop Kill is now out. We had Pop Kill come out, issue number 1. It was printed and released recently. There was the topless cover, the explicit variant that is gaining traction and heat already on the secondary market as we speak. And it's an interesting, I guess, story. You have these Siamese twins that were like split up, and they started their own like Coca-Cola versus Pepsi type thing. It's an interesting story. I'm on board. I haven't,
Pop Kill.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but this came out, I think it was back in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, on Kickstarter. So just to show you the gap from Kickstarter to now being picked up and released for all of us to read. So if you had the opportunity to pick this up at Kickstarter, well, you lucked out, because look at this, man. $750, dude.
Yeah, it's people who jumped on it because they love Adam Hughes, made sense, and now they're paying it off.
Yeah. I this is probably comment of the night, but Hyper saying that the fire hydrant on this cover probably bumps Cena now as the second biggest heel this week, simply because it's covering some of the good points of this cover. But we get a little bit of a nip, so let's just take it for what it is. That poor kid.
Take what you can get.
Yeah, that I don't know who's happier, the kid or the dog. But regardless, Pop Kill number 4, like I said, Kickstarter edition by Adam. He was limited to 350 copies for a raw near mint, sold at $750 US. Guys, what's a Baker Shaker without a Spawn book? We need to talk about this, because Spawn issue 185, the Portasio sketch cover, there's only 35 total on the CGC census, and a CGC 96 sold for $12,000 US. This was a huge sale. Heritage Auctions, guys. I saw many people talking about this. Shout out to Automatic Comics, who spoke about this as well. He put out a great video talking about it. This is actually down. There was a higher sale in time. Michael Baker, correct me if I'm wrong. I see you in the chat. I believe in the past it was like 17,000 or 19,000, somewhere around there. So this one's come down just a bit. But still, just to show you the amount of coin for this ghost of a book that is really difficult to find, and probably the ultimate grail when it comes to Spawn books. Spawn 185, 12K, bro. Previous sale was 17,000. Thank you, Baker.
Why is this the grail book?
So it's nearly impossible to come across, man. I know you're
$1,700.
Yeah.
Guys, that's crazy.
Yep. I know you're scratching your head, man. Many people were scratching their heads. So basically the final cover, I'm just reading this off of recalledcomics.com. So just to give you guys an idea, produced usher in the long-running Endgame saga, with Todd McFarlane returning to writing duties on the series. So it was as of here. At the time, here they're talking about there was only 15 on the census. This was back in 2009. 23 gradings with 7 in CGC 98. So the Spawn 185 had a overall worldwide distribution of around 30,000 copies, but the rare Portacio cover will remain a true collectible given so few of these variants are thought to have been printed. So it really comes down to the scarcity of this book. Almost impossible to come across, like I said. It's super rare, as Michael Baker's saying within the chat. This issue was the end of Al Simmons as Spawn until Spawn 250, 251. And yeah, not a heavily ordered book. This is one that is just probably the rarest of the batch when it comes to Spawn.
Wow. It's something. Look, I mean, I have always said it. Spawn collectors, they are what they are. They're fierce, they're loyal, and they got deep pockets.
Yeah,
it's a rich man's game. The Spawn game. So God bless Jeb and Baker.
Yes,
they out there doing the fighting the good fight.
Clearly, yes. As Michael Baker says in the chat, you have to be a Spawn collector, I guess, to understand this one. But Rocksteady saying that Spawn fans are nuts, and you absolutely are, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. If this is this is what's your kick, man, by all means.
Do you?
Yep, you do you, man. $12,000 for a CGC 96 of Spawn 185, the Portacio sketch cover, and as I said, 35 total copies on the CGC census, so you can see the numbers are very, very low for this. Now, Chia, let's get into the final portion of the show. It's the hot topics. Guys, I know you saw them, so I'm going to give you a heads up. Yes, you will see the sketch art that leaked regarding Avengers Doomsday, and we are going to have those discussions. Will my show get taken down? I don't know. Who cares? At this point, if you were here live...
That's why you had me on. Because you know you're going to take it down. That's why.
Well, yeah, I don't want people to think we're friends, bro. So, like, that just
doesn't it makes sense. It makes
exactly.
a lot of sense now.
Exactly. But let's get into the hot topics, guys. There's a lot to talk about. So, Chia, for the last time, you ready?
Always.
Lego. All right, guys, like I said, hot topics of the week. There's quite some news that came out, but the big news that dropped within the week was obviously the leaks of the Avengers Doomsday sketch art, concept art, regarding the movie, and we'll dive into that in just a second. But to kick it off, Diamond Comics made news again. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but apparently Diamond Comics is making financial demands of comic book stores. So now I'll share this page with you guys before we continue to speak about this a little more, because it's rather interesting. I feel like this is just rough, absolutely rough. But Diamond comic distributors seek payments from comic stores amid bankruptcy proceedings. $22 million in debts owed to Diamond, with $11 million overdue and $6 million seen as irrecoverable. Retailers report surprise demands for payments on invoices they can't verify. Longtime flexibility ends as Diamond seeks to recover debts from struggling comic stores. So this battle's going back and forth, man. Like, now it's dude, it's getting a little nasty, in my opinion. I really don't see this ending well for Diamond. And kind of to circle back to what we were talking about in the market report, with example that Red Hulk issue number 1 PX exclusive, I think the days are very close to numbered, man.
See, here's the thing about the Diamond situation. They're taking out multiple publishers because they're not giving them the money that they're owed. So there's multiple publishers that are closing because Diamond hasn't paid them for the books that they shipped to them. And now Diamond's asking the retailer to give them money when they're not giving the people that they owe money to.
Yeah.
So this looks a little bit kind of whatever, you know? But again, I don't know the intricacies of finance enough to know who's right or wrong in any of the situation. I don't know if they're changing the terms on the stores. I don't know exactly what's going on, you know? All I know is the margins are very thin for comic shops, and these kind of disruptions are devastating, probably. So it's not a good thing. We can obviously agree to that, and springing on new terms on the shop isn't good at all.
No,
I mean,
exactly.
and then not even verifying where these invoices are coming from. That's also whack.
And to add to that, it's what Dan Del Torre is saying. In bankruptcy court, it's hardcore. If these comic shops own Diamond, then the court will insist on payment because Diamond has filed Chapter 11. So this will be getting pretty nasty if that's the case.
See, I'm not sure the intricacies, especially in the United States, what the rules are and everything, but that tracks with what Dan said. Tracks to me. But does that apply to Diamond paying the people that they owe money to? See,
well, that's the thing.
I don't even know,
because they owe tons of money. Like I remember reading somewhere that like they were 44 million or something in debt.
I hope these shops have set up new distribution. I think most shops should have realized earlier the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And diversified where they're getting their books earlier. But again, margins are so thin. Diamond was probably offering a good discount when you order more type of things from them. It keeps you in that ecosystem, right?
Yep.
And then eventually things come home to roost. See, the thing about Diamond is they were a monopoly for so long, which I think made them lethargic and unwilling to change and modify. And then they were they're like the story of what happens when you are a monopoly and you don't adapt and you're not forced to adapt with the times because of competition. And then things happened after to them. I think it got out of hand and they're trying to reel it in now, but it might be too late.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I do think it might be too late. This is, as Dan said, probably going to get nasty and nastier as time passes by. So interesting to see, but obviously a lot of people have already, opted out from Diamond. They're, going via Lunar or Penguin Random House, etc. So we'll see how this one turns up, but I found that to be very interesting this week. Now, Chia, something that I know you found interesting because apparently James Gunn confirms that Robert Pattinson will not be the DCU's Batman. It's certainly not that.
Now, the only thing I want to hear next is we will leave Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves do what they want and release their Batman movies and shows at their own pace as their own sub-universe. Just add that caveat instead of trying to tie it up in one last movie, because you don't want them to interfere with yours. Give me that as well, and then me and James are on a good on good footing. That's the only thing I need now to add to this. I don't think it ever belonged in the DCU. I said it from the beginning. I was never a proponent of that, and I'm happy they're not doing it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Pattinson. I thought he did a phenomenal job. The Batman movie is like so damn good. That's detective
favorite Batman movie.
I love it. I absolutely loved it. I want to see more, especially with the Penguin. The success of the Penguin,
2 for 2, like, incredible.
Yeah, let's go. I want to keep seeing that world building. So, fingers crossed, we still get something taking place on, maybe a separate universe. You know what I mean? Like, make it.
I'm just having a worrisome feeling that it's going to be one more Batman movie, maybe another show, and then we're done with it. And that would be such a tragic way to end because it seems that there's such a rich story there, and it's okay. I think the audience is accepting of everybody understood that Joker wasn't Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger's Joker. No one was confused about it.
Yeah.
We're past that point. People know cartoons now and this and that. They've accepted that there's stories to be said. Not everything is connected. So just let them run. But part of me thinks that James is not going to like the fact that Matt Reeves may do a better Batman than him, and it's competitive, and it dilutes the thing, and it makes them poses them against each other. and there will be the reason why it'll be shut down. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I do find it unfortunate, especially with the success of Penguin. I loved Penguin, probably one of my favorite shows of all time, and Batman being one of my favorite Batman movies as well. So I would like
I
to see
agree,
this.
Derek.
Yeah, I'd like to see this continue to go forward, but I'm okay with it not being part of the James Gunn stuff. If this is something separate, cool with me.
Yes, that's my ideal scenario. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So there you go. Now, speaking DC, guys, quite a bit of news coming out of DC because James Gunn confirms Teen Titans movie is in early production. But not only that, guys, we're apparently going to be getting Starfire, a Green Lantern project, and Superpowers in animated form, which is already in the works. So that's pretty cool. So all this to say, DC, their ball is clearly rolling. James Gunn doing his thing. You got 2 live action films that they said will be released every year, 2 live action series as well, 1 animated film and 2 animated series. I don't know about you, but if my math is anywhere close to good, that's 7 projects per year. And that's just DC alone. We got Marvel doing their things. We got Star Wars stuff. Bro, we are spoiled right now.
I'm curious to see if they ever have this much stuff going. I know they're talking about animated films and everything. Animation takes a long time.
Very.
Go see what's happening with Into the Spider-Verse. That's a top priority for Sony. That movie grosses close to $1 billion. It's a proven commodity.
Yeah, and look at them.
And it's taking, if you want to do good stuff, like I love Invincible, okay? I watch it as soon as it drops, okay? It's great. The animation's crap.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good. It's rudimentary animation. It takes them a year to do it.
Yeah.
You can't release that animation in a movie theater to make one animated film. An animated film takes years to produce.
Yeah.
Like a long time. So I'm all for it. I want this slate. I do find it ironic that James Gunn came out and said we don't announce stuff until the script is finalized, and he's announcing the early development of Teen Titans. Like James, I think James needs to step back from talking a little bit. Between me and you, I think he talks a little bit too much.
He's excited.
He ends up, listen. For me, James Gunn has not made one bad comic book property. 0. All have been good and mostly great. Okay, so I'm putting that out there. I think James Gunn, as a producer and writer, needs to maybe a little bit step back and stop engaging in some of these conversations. I like when he squashes some ridiculous concepts.
Yeah.
But now saying things like, oh, you know what? We're this. We don't announce projects. And you announced 4 projects at their start. 3 of them are in development hell now, Authority and this and that, which happens. It's completely logical. And then you announce another project that you haven't had a script for. So you're kind of contradicting what you're saying. And I still think it's sketchy that he kept all his boys hired and he fired Cavill, even though I agree with getting rid of Cavill. I agree with a fresh start. That means you got to get rid of your boys too. That's how I see it. You don't pick and choose. It's either all or nothing.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things a little bit with James that I've got. But I'm looking forward to Superman. I think it's going to be a massive hit. I think it's going to be incredible. I think we're in for some joyful, optimistic movies in FF and Superman, and I can't wait.
Yeah. So, Derek coming at us with this saying that has been a fear for a while. We're all assuming he knocks it out of the park, but what if he doesn't? I think, this for myself is the last straw for DC. Like it's either you make it or break it now. Like I don't think people are willing to go through an entire other reset after this reset. You know what I mean? Like you guys, whether it be the fatigue will kick in or I just myself would be annoyed. But I think, they're putting all chips on the table. I agree with you. I think James Gunn needs to tone it down a bit. Maybe just like let things be a little more progressed before starting to talk.
Another thing. Like the beginning of Lanterns, he's like, oh, this is going to be the beginning of a massive cosmic story for DC. And now, and I'm super by the way, I'm all in on Lanterns. Love the casting.
Yeah.
Love Damian Lindelof involved. I love the producers and the showrunners. Everything about it, right?
Yeah.
See the first picture, and he's like, "Oh, Lanterns is kind of its own standalone thing." And if it's again like he made a statement, and things change. And again, it's cool that things change.
Yeah.
But you make these kind of very, very powerful and firm statements, right, about this concept, and shows develop and they change, right? But it almost seems as if like, oh no, the show may not fit anymore in our plans, and now we're turning it. And you're acting as if the people who heard your first comment are crazy for expecting something else now. All you got to say is we're adjusting. The show develops. Things change. The way that Marvel changed the development of Daredevil, right? It was supposed to be a different thing, and then they realized it wasn't working, and they went back to the other thing. Just say we changed, we pivoted. You know, we want Lanterns to be more of an intimate thing. And maybe if it builds to something else, sure. That our plans change with development. That's how I see it. It seems as if it kind of makes you feel like a little like you're like crazy of what you heard before and now afterwards.
Exactly. So I think you nailed it on the head. I agree with that. Approach it in such a manner, just like let things progress, do your thing. Maybe speak a little less, and as things develop, you won't have to come out saying, yeah, we pivoted like 500 times. You know what I mean? Like, let's just let things play out. I'm okay to just be on the back end. Like, I'm excited for Superman. I think, we're going to be in for a treat. I hope so. And we'll see from there. But regardless, 7 projects a year. That sounds very promising. I hope they can deliver. Marvel's doing their thing. Everybody's doing their thing. It looks like we're going to be busy in front of our TVs and at the theaters, man. That's what it looks like we'll be doing pretty often. Now, let's get into it, guys. I want to just talk about the leaks that were
show the picture show the picture where he has all his sauce.
I will. Trust me. We're going to get to it. I just put this up as a little disclaimer warning because some people may have not seen it and probably don't want to see it. But Avengers Doomsday concept art has apparently leaked. It dropped yesterday. Chia, you and I were going back and forth the second anything started to come out. A lot of pictures started leaking, and then immediately the account got shut down. Go ahead. I saw you.
Before we continue, guys, bail if you don't want to see any of these images. First off, agree like what BC just said, but just know these images. If you know anything about Secret Wars, the actual good one from 2015 from Jonathan Hickman, if you know anything about it, then you'll know what's upcoming. The only thing shocking about these leaks are, Marvel's going all the way. That's the only thing. But if you've read Jonathan Hickman's book, series, you know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
The only thing, and if you haven't read it, you should leave the stream and go read it. Yes. Because as good as the stream is, and it's an amazing stream because I'm on it, obviously.
Jesus.
The book is even better. And that's saying a lot.
Yes. So this, as you were just saying, the Secret Wars Hickman run from 2015, that is clearly what's being adapted here. And as we saw within the concept art, they're really going all in, like you said, on this, if this be the case. Now, of course, concept art, guys, make of it what you will. This is still like the drawing board, right? So it's not entirely finalized. But as I was saying, the account of the person that leaked this, who is a credible source, Chia, correct me if I'm wrong, works for Marvel, right?
It is a concept artist who worked for Marvel for 5 years. Yeah. It seems as if there's like an art portfolio site or something, or a studio site that she had, and a whole bunch of her artwork for Marvel got dumped there. Now, people are like, did Marvel leak it on purpose because it's been such a huge hit? Was it accidental? Anyways, the site got nuked immediately as soon as everybody started talking about it. It's gotten verified by multiple insiders, including Alex P. If you guys don't follow him from the Comics Cosmic Circus, he's usually on point with his way of doing. It's not just been confirmed by like My Time to Shine or whatever. It's been confirmed by the big dudes in the leaking community, right? So now it's only concept art, and there's been plenty of concept art where you see characters that they squash, like there's been so like they revise plans, but the concept art is showing settings, and usually when you're getting to settings, the characters in the setting may change.
Yes.
But the settings are pretty firm in the plot line, right? Whether it's somebody there or not standing there, that may change. But the setting that they're building is pretty similar to what, so that's the backstory of these leaks, and they were amazing, by the way.
Exactly. So speaking of them being amazing, let's dive into some of them.
If everybody wants to bail now, because there might even be some spoiler talk too. Because maybe I go on a crazy rant afterwards. You never know.
I don't care. We are going to get into it. That's exactly why everyone's here, including myself.
One. Yeah. After 5, spoilers can happen. 1.
You don't.
2. 3. 4. 4.5.
Oh, stop it.
4 3/4.
Fuck it.
5.
Let's go.
So,
all right. Here we go. So first one, this one being very interesting. Obviously, Black Panther. We're in Wakanda here. I saw some people talking about this. Apparently, the recast. They were pinpointing a specific actor, which I'm not even going to get into because when it comes to concept art, I'm not going to, guess on who this person might be. But are we getting a recasting? Is this a different timeline? Is it a different timeline of his father as well? Chia, you and I were going back and forth on this one. Share your thoughts on the T'Challa story.
I don't know why Marvel's so terrified of just recasting T'Challa and bending over backwards of making it his son from an alternate reality, and he's older, and they're merging it there, but they're going to call him T'Challa because it's T'Challa Jr., which, by the way, can be in the hands of Coogler with a younger son holding the mantle of a dead king and trying to live up to it. Could be an incredible story, because basically you can merge the Killmonger story with the T'Challa story and create a whole different character. It could be epic, right? So let's get that straight, and then coming from a different universe, it could be great. I don't know why they're jumping through the hoops that they are there now. The actor that they chose, I believe, is a British one. I think we looked it up. He looked kind of cool and looked the part. This costume looks amazing. I love the background where he's standing. It looks like it's a war-torn Wakanda, like it's somber. So, and I love the cape. I'd love to see this T'Challa with Black Panther with a cape. It'd be kind of cool, harkening back to the OG version. So I'd love to see that.
Yeah, for sure, man. You just to touch on it very quickly, because you were talking about the actual actor himself. So, the actor you're referring to is actually this guy, Damson Idris, which I have absolutely no idea. I've not followed any of his work, so I'm not too familiar with him. But this is who people were saying immediately when they saw the concept art.
Isn't he the one that did the show about cocaine breaking into the LA Snowfall or something like along the lines? I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that was where he made his big break, or maybe another actor that I'm mistaking. But that's what I think.
So, what did you say it was called?
Snowfall, maybe.
So yeah, let's see. Yeah, it's Snowfall. So 2017 to 2023.
Yeah, he's an up and coming guy. Yeah. Jeff Schneider mentioned that he was in the running, and that's another guy with the casting guys. And I know people got angry at Jeff Schneider a couple times, but he, by the way, was a year earlier than everybody else. Said that he's hearing RDJ coming back as Doom, and I laughed at him. Okay. I'm telling you now, I was laughing at Snyder saying he's crazy. So the guy's plugged in. So Jeff Schneider knows his stuff. But I mean, so this one makes sense. He looks like the part. He looks good. So I think it's good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if this was fan made here. This seems
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be.
he's been in the talk for a while. So then seeing the concept art matching him, kind of, it made people think, okay, that there must have been,
Yeah, I agree with your brother here saying I don't know about you, but I need this Marvel Studios concept art on a variant. Yes,
yes,
there's
yes,
some
yes,
good ones, dude. There's some good
yeah,
ones. Let's
yeah.
check out some of the other ones because here we have
This
Hulk, She-Hulk, Scar.
Scar looks like a badass.
He has fucking hair finally.
Scar, the beard, everything about this looks top notch. Like, it looks like we're gonna get medieval World War Hulk, and there's rumors that we're getting a World War Hulk movie. So this tracks. 2 movies on Battle World. Rumor is Doomsday, World War Hulk, Spider-Man 4, Secret Wars.
Yep.
And the rumor also is Doomsday's gonna be 3 hours. By the way. So
Yep.
my theory that Secret Wars is gonna be broken up in 2 is gonna happen. They're gonna make a 2 movie set, by the way, but that's a whole other subject. But yeah, this looks amazing. I can't wait for this. I hope this is happening.
Yeah, man. You could see at the bottom left, even CHIA makes an appearance into this movie, so that is absolutely amazing. The crying little baby over there. But
You're,
dude, I'm I'm all for this. Like, if they're gonna start exploring this, like, this is fun. I was telling you via DMs, like, we were talking, and I was like, bro, I immediately, like, in the background, I get vibes of Shrek. Like, you look at that girl on the right
medieval
hand.
castles, yeah, they look a little bit like Shrek. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right, but I'm all for this, man. And Scar finally looking a little more like Scar rather than what George Costanza like we got in She-Hulk. I'm game. So this looks interesting. So if this were to be real, hell yeah, man, this looks fun. But this one confused me. We finally see White Vision and Star Lord together.
This is amazing.
Yeah, of course, it's just randomness. Like Star Lord now being back home, right? He went to visit his dad. The White Vision thing, I don't know, I was puzzled by it because like we haven't seen anything since WandaVision, right? So
But isn't the thing about White Vision, if they're gonna go by the Vision miniseries, right? The thing about it is he's trying to be a regular dude, trying to learn to be human, right? And it would make sense that.
sorry, bro, I need to correct myself. He went to visit his grandfather, right?
Yes, that's right.
There you go, my bad.
Star-Lord wants to visit his grandfather. It might be the same neighborhood, right? That they become buddies or something. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is it makes sense that he would try to bond with somebody and learn human things, right? And that might be our point of view character. And this could also just be concept art that they're using like that, right?
Yeah,
That they're with ideas, concepts that they're playing with.
yeah.
But I'd love to see it. Any more Star-Lord for me, the better. So
For sure. Scotty do, I agree with you, man. They do feel a little AI-ish, right? When you look at these pictures, I do get AI vibes. But hey, I wouldn't vote against this pairing here. It was interesting to see. Now, the one that really impressed me was this one right here, because within this concept art, you can see pretty much the Young Avengers, and it looks like you have Wong here with them, Star Lord, and in the background to the right hand side, lingering, you got Dupe. That's right, Dupe. I know that Keys, Mr. Key Collector, dude would be going bananas. Mr. Key Issues would be going absolutely nuts for this one because he loves Dupe, still does,
well,
but.
Dupe rocks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's, dude, nothing wrong with Dupe, man. Everything
That
to love
book
about
is
Dupe,
gonna
nothing to hate.
guys, that book, if you could find right now, pick it up.
Yeah,
Because
X-Force 116.
it's gonna pop off.
Yeah, if he's there for
For
sure.
sure. Now it's gonna pop off.
Yeah.
Even if he's not there, people have seen this. They're on the hunt. This is when you gotta find it.
I think I saw a raw shit copy sell for like $30. So just to give you an idea.
This looks, to be honest with you, again, more Star-Lord. I love the scenes with Star-Lord and Thor.
Yeah.
Right? When he felt like he wasn't, when he was not good enough. So I'm thinking bringing the Chris Pratt vibe with kids like Kate Bishop, putting him in his place and upstaging him and being more competent than him could be jokes like crazy, you know? So yeah, bring this group on with Wong being really competent. Yes. Like that's 100%. 100% yes.
Yeah, man. Dude, Dupe being there is just probably my favorite part of this concept art because, like, don't get me wrong. I know everybody's been anticipating the Young Avengers, right? They want to see that. And I find it very interesting that they're sitting here with Wong and Star-Lord, two very interesting characters to be interacting with the Young Avengers here. But Dupe really steals the scene for me on this one. So I really hope we see that take place.
But 1 second about this one. It would track, though, if they go to Wong because they want to find Scarlet Witch. That's one.
Yes.
Because he can help her find Scarlet Witch.
But hold on, because now within the TVA comics.
Yes, but 1 second. And Star-Lord, if he's with Vision, that also tracks.
Yeah.
So that's how they could both be there. So there might be more to the previous one we just saw. Now, the TVA comics, sorry.
But it is a very good point, man, because, you know, you put those together, it could be that there's something related to that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe that's how some of this kicks off. So
well, I think that's how Tommy gets there.
Yeah.
It has to be Tommy has to be involved somehow in Vision Quest.
Yeah. That would make a lot of sense. Because
where else are you going to appear? So that Tommy's going to be the one, you know? And then they connect Agatha through somehow Billy finds them at the end or something. And they connect through there, right? And if Star-Lord's in there, that would connect. There
I hope Lefteros has a change of underwear nearby because look at this absolutely insane cover. Cover photo, sorry, of Doom, bro.
This dude, who would mess with this motherfucker?
Not me, man. Not me.
So much swag. It's full sauce here, right here, bro. Extra sauce right there, bro.
Yep.
Absolutely makes sense.
But you know, now looking at some of the concept art that we've gotten, leave that mask on Robert Downey Jr. I think it will be for sure. Chia, you were giving me a theory that you and your friend were
Oh, do you want me to say the theory?
That you were cooking. I really think you should share this. It's
an incredible theory.
Hold on, it's incredible. It sounds far-fetched as fuck.
It's not far-fetched. I think it's less.
Hold on. What I'm saying is it might sound far-fetched as fuck, but it makes sense.
Okay. So let me preface that. I spoke with an insider today, one of those spoiler guys, Chad Ryan. Okay. And he posted on Twitter and he said, guys, because somebody made a comment about RDJ and the mask. You know, by the way, Hasbro just released the mask today, you know, or yesterday. A full cool mask, by the way, that you could buy and wear, by the way. An RDJ our Doom mask. It looks incredible. And he goes, when you guys find how and why they look alike, you're gonna be shocked, right? He said. So I'm like, let me test out my boy's theory, you know? Let's see if there's a chance that this theory. And I haven't shared it earlier with more people because I think it's so legit and real that I believe it's gonna ruin the surprise of the movie. So again, I say bold if you guys don't want to hear it. I believe it's that legit, this possibility for this, okay? Because I believe it's that sound. I didn't come up with the theory. My buddy came up with the theory. I just added a couple things at the end now when I thought of it afterwards. This is my buddy Roberts. It's all his theory, and I think he's right. So I messaged the guy Chad Ryan. I think it's Chad Ryan. And I said, hey, I think I have an idea where it came from. Me and my buddy were spitballing. You want to hear it?
Let's go.
He goes, sure. So I wrote the theory down to him. And then he responds back to me and he goes, I can't confirm because that would be spoilers.
Okay, cool. So that means
I just want to have my receipts put in there if this comes to fruition next year. He's like, understood. Look how cool that mask is.
Yeah.
So
dope.
Again, I'm giving you guys a chance to bail on this one because BC's already heard it and my brother's already heard it because I thought it was remarkable. This is incredible, this mask. So You guys ready? Or do I
Go,
avoid
bro.
saying it?
Just go. Spit it
Okay.
out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So picture this. You're watching Fantastic Four. For whatever reason, Doom's in the Fantastic Four, full mask. You see him doing his shenanigans in Latveria, whatever he is there. You know, the FF does his shenanigans. He's a bit player. If you barely see him, right? And he's monitoring, or he sees the FF. The Galactus comes. I don't know how it happens, an incursion, because they're not from that whatever universe. Whatever happens, that Earth is being destroyed. So the FF gets plucked away by Franklin, or gets plucked away by the TVA, because heroes don't die, heroes don't run away. They will be forced to leave. And then as that universe collapses, Doom also escapes. So let's say you see Doom escape in a flash of light or whatever, right? You don't know what happens. End of the universe. His next appearance is in Doomsday. Okay?
Yeah.
So you find out in Doomsday that the way that Doom left was not through technological means, as other hero, as the FF did, because Doom is also the most powerful sorcerer.
Exactly.
So he is basically the Sorcerer Supreme, but he has so much ego that he didn't become the Sorcerer Supreme. So basically, he left the planet, his universe, through dream walking, not through like Wanda and like it was, and Doctor Strange did and established in Multiverse of Madness. So he leaves his universe that's dying through dream walking, and his goal is to come into the sacred timeline for whatever reason they manufacture up, and he chooses to enter the body of a deceased Tony Stark. So it's basically Victor Von Doom who enters our Tony Stark's body and seizes that body, and that's why his face is scarred up. That's why he has this rivalry with Reed already. That's why he's the Doctor Doom in the RDJ body. Therefore, it also creates an emotional impact with our main characters who've seen that RDJ, that Tony Stark. That's Cap's buddy. So Cap may be impetus into action because he's not dead. That Spider-Man is going to see the Tony that mentored him being the villain, and also have not even considering him a villain. And the reason he can maybe come to the sacred timeline, this is where I added. Either he needs that body because it's an anchor beam. So he has to revive the anchor beam. Yeah, so he's the anchor beam of the 616. So he needs to revive Tony Stark. Then you add on top of it the maybe it's the resources that Tony has. Maybe it's because he wants to get the heroes out of the way. But he revives Tony because he's the anchor beam. They've established anchor beams in multiple movies, in Deadpool and other movies. So basically, he needs to revive the anchor beam to keep the universe alive. He needs the sacred timeline to exist, to collapse all the multiverse onto it, to save the multiverse, because that's the primary timeline. And that's why he went to that universe. And the rumor was from Alex P that we're going to see a flashback where Doom was around even during Tony in the cave, which that could be when he was dream walking, trying to find a way into Tony's body and went to go through it. So you might flash through Tony's life while Doom looked for a way to enter it. And then he enters it after Endgame, and he revives it afterwards. So that's the theory that I think is pretty sound and would make sense why he looks like Robert Downey Jr.
And yeah,
and one caveat that I added recently, which is the Void. I always said the Void is Battle Earth, and I still believe that. I believe the castle we've seen in Loki, season 1 and season 2, I believe it's always been Doom's castle. That's another thing, by the way. At the end of time, we're going to see that castle complete, not destroyed during Secret Wars.
Yeah. Dude, I think it makes perfect sense on the dream walking aspect, taking over Tony's body after he died in Endgame. The scar on the face, his face was completely fucking burnt apart and shattered, like you saw it at the end of Endgame. The mask, it all makes sense for the Robert Downey Jr. casting. So that's why I think it's out there. It's very out there as a theory, but very possible. It's very possible. Guy's head is spinning right now listening to you, but it doesn't sound entirely crazy, because why else would they have gone with Robert Downey Jr.?
It's either that or they're the variants from different. It's the same person.
Which I think that's too easy and boring. In a sense of like, I don't want to.
Oh no, this one's crazy. This one shows also Doom super powerful. as powerful as Sorcerer Supreme as Stephen Strange.
Exactly. And we've seen dreamwalking already. Doctor Strange did it, Wanda's done it. So could that be what Doom is doing with Tony Stark? And that's why the casting is as it is. And it also gives Marvel their time to actually cast their actual Doctor Doom after the fact. So I think if you put it and position it in such a way, that might work better for Marvel, because once Secret Wars does come to end and we hit reset and we move forward in a one universe direction, now we can cast our real Fantastic.
Derek, I think it would be because he's an anchor being. That's why.
Yeah, exactly, because he's an anchor being for the main timeline,
he needs the anchor being, because they keep mentioning anchor beings revive the timeline.
Correct.
So Tony's the anchor beam that would revive the timeline.
Exactly.
So, as you were saying about, I cut you off, BC. Before.
No, I was saying it would make perfect sense and give them the opportunity, meaning Marvel, Disney, to cast their actual Victor Von Doom after the fact.
But
now,
this is what I want to say. I also don't believe that we're going to see Natasha, Hemsworth, Evans, Tony. They're not going to die villains. There's no way that RDJ, last thing in the MCU, is going to be him as Doom.
No.
He's going to be a hero. Maybe they do the original ending of Endgame where the main core go off and die together and then reboot the universe together, because that was the original ending of Endgame, where the OG Avengers would pass away together. I don't know what happens exactly, but it's very possible once Doom gets the ultimate power, whether it's Loki's power, Franklin's power, Galactus's power, Molecule Man's power, a Beyonder that introduced Kang's power, whatever power he gets, he may then shed the Tony body and reestablish his body, because he's omnipotent, right? He's omniscient, right? So he could just rebuild his body and then shed the Tony body, and maybe that's how you bring Tony back for the Secret Wars back half to lead the heroes to the last victory, and then his swan song, and that's where you get both of them all back together again.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see a second swan song for Tony Stark, to be honest, because
there's zero chance RDJ is dying off as a villain. That's I know that Cena is going to end his career as a heel. Stop it, guys.
I love logic. Everything's tied together. But one more photo I want to share with you guys.
This is the photo.
This one right here, God Emperor Doom, baby. We don't mess around, guys. He is it doesn't get more powerful.
We're getting him killing Thanos. You guys all know this.
I want to see that. I want to see him rip it. It has to happen.
It's happening.
The concept art for this is insane, though, because you've got Doctor Strange, just like within the comic.
Sheriff
there you go. You got Sheriff Strange. You clearly.
That's Reed.
Sorry?
That's Reed chained up.
So it could be that it's Reed that's chained up.
That's Reed.
Does that mean we have Sue standing next to him?
Yes, that's Sue and Franklin. He takes the family.
And
he takes the family, and that's Yelena. The Thunderbolts are his sheriffs. That is incredible.
I would love for that to be the case, because it's again.
There's also scenes of the Sentry chained up in like a dungeon.
Yes.
There's concept art of that.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
I had seen that too, but if they go this route, man, guys, I think we're in for a solid ride, man. These concept arts, take it with a grain of salt, a big grain of salt, of course. Nothing official. It did get taken down very fast, so to me that makes it kind of interesting. But Chia, you want to say something?
I don't think we're gonna get exactly everything that we've seen here, but I think this is where they're thinking of. And I know the Russos are massive fans of Secret Wars, so I think we're gonna get all the highlights of Secret Wars. I'm talking about the spine ripping out, And picture it, guys. If it's the Thanos, or a Thanos that's confronted Tony Stark and that's defeated him, right? And then it sees Tony's face, and then Tony's the one that rips the spine out, even though he said that people will remember you, Stark. Just even that has that meta play on the fact that he's now more powerful than Thanos, right? Yeah. And he rips Thanos's spine out of him, right? And the way they had Brolin talk. I think that we're gonna get something. Again, I was always a big fan of the Secret Wars concept, so I'm always all in. The fact that they're doing the medieval Sheriff Strange and everything is
crazy.
So my jam. Like this is exactly what I want. And the fact that he stole the family. Yeah. If they go with the stealing the family thing, that to me is gonna elevate Pedro versus RDJ on screen to different heights. You know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Again, I'm happy you guys have gotten the opportunity to see the wild mind of CHIA, because sometimes it is good, and unfortunately his poor brother Lefteros and myself actually have to deal with this time and time again. I get phone calls from CHIA daily. Sometimes he catches me at bad times. He's calling me while I'm at work and he's like, yo, listen to this theory.
What my Ultimate Spider-Man theory is not good? It's devastating.
It's
facts.
It is. We can make a whole episode just on that Ultimate Spider-Man theory. But guys, that was the concept art. That was some of the discussion that we have amongst ourselves, man, regarding this. Obviously, the Hickman run is going to be heavily explored come Doomsday, Secret Wars. So I'm excited. We knew this, kind of what CHIA was saying at the beginning. We knew we were going to be getting that. But now it seems more solid based on the concept art alone. So I'm excited. Lots of good things to look forward to. CHIA, thank you, bro, for hopping on. We did this in good time. We did this in good time, considering FOC. His FOC was massive. We had like 48 slides. But I want to shout out everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those of you catching the replay, comment below. Show some love. Let's get that algorithm going back in our favor again. And don't forget, tomorrow, CHIA goes live over on the Comic Legion YouTube channel for a live claim sale of New Comic Book Day. You can find the link in the description of this video if you want to come and join. I'll try to hop on if I have the opportunity to come and say hi and shoot the shit with you guys. It's always fun. I love seeing CHIA running around like a chicken with no head, placing books there. You guys...
Yeah, come watch me be tortured by my customers.
Yes, so, absolutely.
That's the good times.
I am a customer and I am there to torture you. Yeah, adrenaline in his soul. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This is always fun. I get a chance to come here and spew my crazy theories. So you can't. But I think this one's a rock solid one. I mean, I think this coupled with the Void stuff, I think we're cracking the case.
We shall see how things play out, man. But very interesting concept art, man. I'm pumped, man. I'm really pumped for all of the stuff that's coming our way. So, guys, don't forget, tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Comic Legion goes live. New Comic Book Day sale. Tuesday night, you can catch me on the top 10 with Laura. Marty's going to be there. We bring you guys the top 10 books over on Covrprice, so go subscribe to Covrprice, and then I'll be hosting the Shaker Show on Thursday. Again, that goes live 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be back next week with a new guest. And
a new one, not me again.
No. Look,
we got to cycle somebody else.
There's only so much CHIA people can take, right? We got to do small doses. Small doses.
So 2 hours and a half is a small dose.
It's never a small dose, man. And I love it every single time. So thank you, bro. I appreciate you. See you guys on the flip side, man. Have a good one. Peace.
Laters.